ฟ้าก็ฟ้าเดียวกันแต่จันดูคล้ายลำเอียงส่องแสงลงมาเพียงเสี้ยวสำหรับผู้ชมที่ชมอยู่ตอนนี้นะครับอย่าลืมกดไลค์กด Subscribe Channel ให้ด้วยนะครับและติดตามการสตรีมของผมได้ที่ sooflight.com ครับลิงก์อยู่ด้านล่างครับ
Right, there's a lot to be looked at here between the two. Anything about the composition standing out to you? Is it literally going to come down to who wants it more? I mean, GB was saying it, and I agree. This is one of those grudge matches where you've got to turn up on the day.
Any given Sunday, it's the form that's going to decide this one. No surprise, maybe some tweaks along the way, but we should have an absolute banger to open the series.
คาจักมึงอย่าปวดขี้นะมึงเหี้ยไม่เอานะเว้ยมึงขี้มายังแพมเพิร์ดไหมเลียราดไปเลยตรงนั้นน่ะโอ้ยโบจะตายห่าเลยเฮียใครแยก
Hesitant so far, but it's actually skipped a little further ahead. So they're trying to carve a path forward, Fnatic. Looking for some more options, and Second's not allowing that already. Denial in front of them, obvious.
โอ้โดนล้อมครับโดนลุมกระทืบ
Fnatic almost playing into that pinch there, a little desperate to try and
มาก่อนนะครับเซนิเนล
Seemingly find the opener they needed, but it's Bang to really turn this back. Chronicle falling as well.
NA ปะทะ EU ฮะ
We were just talking as well, Kayak. This is probably the biggest challenge he's faced so far in terms of the head-to-head today. Zekken, one of the best. You cannot doubt that. Certainly, all eyes towards him.
Yeah, and Zekken's proven it time and time again, right? Tournament after tournament, he's always been exceptional. For Kayak, it's a
1 EMEA เลยเหรอวะโหดไหมวะนี่อ่ะนี่อ่ะหมด
Kayak and Boast are going to feel that. And Zen don't want to allow Fnatic to get off even the starting blocks.
Slow down round 2. Off the rip here. It's Alpha with a Sheriff though. He's the one that's probably going to look for a pick. Right, almost entertaining the idea. Actually, the trade-off. Alpha down to 20 already. So going to keep that Sheriff in check.
มาสเตอร์แรกตอนนั้นพี่บูมดูปะพี่น่าจะดูทุกมาสเตอร์จริงๆไม่เคยขาดสักมาสเตอร์
Goes, yeah, little off angle from Bang.
I've got to say for me as well, Bang is such an unsung hero of the Sentinels team. I mean, there's a lot of highlight players, right? There's a lot of personality to that Sentinels side, but Bang is always such a safe man, such a solid player. And Alpha, it's a nice shot. I need a whole lot more of those though. And it looks like Narrate would like to close his count down, and he does. Safety found for Sentinels in the first two. Rather unfazed thus far.
It's pretty comfortable as well, carrying across 4 of the weapons here. Recovery. Well, that's going to deter Fnatic initially. Slow things down for their buy round. Certainly the upper hand for sure. With Bosa looking like actually might settle for just a Guardian here. Don't expect him to be at the forefront of this buy round, but certainly get an indicator here for pace, a widespread default from Fnatic.
I like this.
Just putting out the feelers, yeah, Zekken on a deep angle here.
Yeah, it's a question mark of how long he holds it. Deciding against staying up for too long, but an initial show of force. You can see a little bit of a deeper exploration over towards that A side as well, putting up that one-way smoke, controlling this space. Zekken still with this line. No light shields on the other side, so it won't have that same validity, but it can certainly do.
คาจักจะเป็นลมแล้วคาจัก
Front of that down to 10, and that's an early big bit of damage.
Now Fnatic looking to put things in motion. The other extremity here, Bang will be called upon. Shouldering the ankle there, knife out.
อันนี้คู่นี้จบแล้วอีก3 วันเลยเหรอ
Already bodies in the right place for Sentinels, and 45 seconds left on the clock.
ว่ะ
I think now Fnatic Going to try and put something in motion towards B to once again pull that rotation.
But you got to look towards the mini-map. Look how deep they're sitting on this. A couple of players maybe just keeping an eye on if you kind of want to put Bang into the equation. But for Sentinels, they're not giving Fnatic opening chances. They're not allowing them these picks. Even Zekken, who did have that deeper line initially towards B, slipped back towards Pillar. Again, playing these deeper angles. And Kayak, whoa, Bang in shot though, barely alive.
เฮียขยับแม่งเอาจนได้ผมแม่งเลยมีหน้าที่สุดท้ายจริงเฮีย Fnatic แม่งเอาวินาทีสุดท้ายจริงครับจังหวะสุดท้ายเลยโอ้อัลฟาเจอร์เอ้ยไม่ใช่คาจักเหลือ10แต่เอาไป2ครับเดือดจริงๆผู้ชายคนนี้บอส
3v3 in the post plant
มึงจับเมาส์หน่อยดิ
for Fnatic to try and find some sort of answer. Can't get locked out of sight here. Josis actually doubles down.
An Alpha, an unknown position, but now given away. But it's a 3K and it's dreamy from him. You know he's standing up. You know he's reminding him of who they are.
แล้วรีบพลิกไปไหนวะทั้งที่เพื่อนรออยู่ไม่ใช่หรอพวกโปรเพลเยอร์ชอบเล่นจังหวะแปลกๆนะเว้ยคือถ้าปล่อยให้ไซเฟอร์คอนแทคก่อนอะถูกไหม
a little cautious to continue pressuring towards CT.
Frustration on Boaster.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a fumble here on the bonus, but all credit due to Sentinels to convert.
I'm out of here.
Minimal investment here, a Guardian, a couple of Sheriffs, some Stingers. It's only the neural theft available for Fnatic.
ไม่ดีเลยว่ะโปรเพลเยอร์
Not much to point to round 4 here.
It feels rather similar, doesn't it, to almost that second round. Second over towards.
ชอบมีจังหวะผีเว้ย
rounds here from Fnatic. We want to get a feel for some of the setups here, but not necessarily any
น้องทุง
so far from Sentinels. So
okay, small. Oh,
so
God
snappy.
Damn, that was quick. And Zelt's not feeling particularly pressured. He can just cycle those one ways still. He knows that that market pressure is now a little bit less deadly. But
โอ้ยิงไม่โดนเลยโอ้โอ้ไหวไหมเนี่ยไหวไหมเนี่ย
They don't look phased at all.
Coasting through these early rounds, Lauren. Fnatic probably need to get a grip on things pretty early on.
I was going to say,
wouldn't be surprised to see an early timeout here. And haven't really forced any sort of adjustments from Sentinels just yet. Zekken happy to stand his ground.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see a
Let's
timeout
fucking
here.
go let's go
Early pump of the brakes from Fnatic.
They look cold, Mike. It feels like they're, you know, not getting much say in the way these
ชิบ
rounds
หายแล้วถ้าเซลซิตมาคือแพ้แล้วครับ Fnatic ไอ้ที่นั่นปีศาจงานตึงเลยอะเซลซิตอะ
take that market control that's not working. I mean, Zekken's been controlling that like a champion, right? Every time, hard to clear. Then you can throw in Zalsis to the mix, whoever you want, bang, playing it back in from kind of top middle. He's been excellent, 7-1 already. Yeah, Kayak's had a couple moments, but none of it's felt like it's a threat to the round yet.
No, like I said, until they can force an adjustment, put basic Sentinels in a position to employ Zekken elsewhere, then maybe it's a positive for Fnatic to try and exploit such a thing, but towards the minimap here, it's pretty much carbon copy once more for Sentinels. Fnatic lean towards a set piece early on here. Said early slow default, not really achieving much. Like I said, these are the fact finders. If you lose them, you come away with something to work upon, but into similar setups on repeat so far.
ขอมันหน่อยดิวะ Fnatic.
If we want a bit of a game here, really. Yeah, a couple ults nearby. Kayak's not too far off. Neither is Crashies. So Kayak off to a quick beginning, but the stall instantly comes out. Prowler to follow, so they know that they've still got that nice line over from elbow. Kayak has done well on his entries, but it's a tough endeavor, and Bang's been so cold with holding this as well, just shouldering it before in those earlier rounds.
Might even be a reclearance here. See the Prowler layered with the flash.
Pick me.
Bang just taking a peek with the TP.
And the one thing I love about how Sentinels approach playing Fnatic, there's no fear about it. They play like they're the favorites, which you could argue they are in this scenario, there isn't that hesitation or worry. They are as calibered, as prolific as each other in that regard. And already a good read here. Look at the rotation coming in. You're going to start seeing John QT head over to the right side, catching towards top middle. Joined by Narrate. They've got a good beat on what Fnatic want to do, but this slow, steady pace isn't catching anyone off guard yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, almost tailor-made to force Second a little deeper here with that paranoia.
Still have to give away the game if they want to close down towards him, though. And there it is.
Ooh.
That's good from Kayak.
เฮียขจัก
Yeah, and that was basically all building towards it. Now at 25 seconds.
เฮียขยักแม่งโหดจังวะ
Zelsis goes down. They fought for that top middle control, and they've
แม่ง
won it
เปิด
now.
แบบเดือด
That was
จั
a
ด
very procedural round almost from Fnatic. These final 3 players,
Ui.
it's tough to come back into this.
เฮียโดนฟาเนติกบีบ
Such deep control from Alpha. So obviously boasted to complement that as well. Still a way back in here if they can win a couple of these gunfights, but the spy cam will reveal Sentinels in mid. So got to pick up the pace now if they still want to make a go of this. They're probably just going to look for exits on the other side. Doesn't feel good to walk into market there.
เซฟอะ
No, we could obviously see how many were waiting if they did decide to go for it. But for once, it does feel like that kind of isolation of Zekken worked out, right? Mike, he had to sit deep CT, and then you had pressure top
Yeah, I mean,
middle.
it still doesn't feel great that Zekken can then sit on a
สะดุ้ง
deep
สะดุ้ง
right
สะดุ้ง
I said that's why
ไอ้
it's
นี่
such
สะดุ้ง
a big win from Kayak. A window of opportunity after the paranoia is posted, unless you can scale up effectively and lock somebody like Zekken out of the site.
Yep.
Certainly doesn't feel like it's a guarantee. Fnatic on the board regardless, though. So Neural Theft really seals the deal on this round.
So cute,
Nice
little
boys,
glow
really
sticks.
good round.
จริง
Yeah, I mean, even now, that doesn't look
แม่งแผนโหดจังวะโบ๊ทเพื่อน
overly happily about it.
No, I mean, we saw frustration early, and that's
Yeah.
not something you're used to seeing with
No, no,
Boaster.
no.
He's very, very calm normally, if not always leaning towards a positive. But let's see how this looks.
แผนโคตรเดือดเลยแผนเมื่อกี้
A little bit of an answer
Mang
back
beep,
for
mang
Sen's 4 rounds now. Kayak with ult, Crashies with it online too. Contact off the Prowler, and Bang getting curious. Flash in, swing!
Oh.
It's stunning from Bang.
Oh.
Also found by Kron though, takes away Narrate, who's meant to be that support system. But John QT.
โอ้โคนิเคิลนักเลงจัด
He leant forward, it looked like to try
เฮีย
and
สมแล้วที่มาจากรัสเซีย
but as it stands, they've given over the
แม่ง
man
ดุ
advantage
แม่งดุ
now.
No commitment just
แม่ง
yet.
ขาแข็ง
Just
แม่ง
trying to
สู้
pick up maybe somebody in rotation. Only really Zelsis on the chopping block for that. See, Alpha still has a cam here, but he's not spotted.
อุ้ยไม่เห็นด้วย อุ้ย
Oh my god, the
โอ้ยเอาเอา
welcome to live events. See if you can figure it out.
มึงจะได้เม็ดสักตัวไหมเนี่ย
We go completely unaware.
เอาเอา
Clear this second. He's got the
โอ้โห
operator. He's been quick so far.
เซลซิส
But he's got a lot of
หาแล้วไอ้เหี้ย
coming his way. Decides against it. Holds that deeper line again. Good choice. And a great shot. Crashes goes down. Spike now spotted. Holding his space towards CT.
เฮียเซลซิสไม่เจอใครเลย
Coming in and Zelsis on the flank. Yeah, they got sight, but
อุ้ยแต่เซลซิส
this
อ๋อ
push part won't be
หลังมีแถบไป
comfortable
ดิ
for Fnatic. So do they fight forward?
Still a trip, actually, which will reveal Zelsis' position. Zeka to swap over to the rifle.
This is pressure now on two sides. Mike, that trip being broken. They now
Bang's
know.
found one.
What? How did Bang get that? Maybe above the smoke? I don't know. But Alpha with an uncounted.
โอ้
Get away with
โอ้โคนิเคิลเฮ้ย
Chronicle makes it up
เหี้ย
to
แม่
going to Fnatic's way, but
โคนิเคิลเฮ้ย
I mean, the shift walk out as well.
Here,
into
พ่อหนุ่มผม
Zeken's
ยาว
sideline. Still some question marks on this side of the map, for sure, but
and this is
luckily-
classic Kron, right?
yeah, oh yeah. Happy to stand his ground here.
Yeah,
As over the top of the smoke. It looked like it might have just come straight through.
Through, yeah.
Remaining.
Chronicle delivering here.
ไอ้โบ๊ทมึงไหวปะวะ
Maybe a swing round for Fnatic.
ไม่ต้องยืนหรอก
So retrieval of the operator.
มุมอะไรก็ไม่รู้
Gonna
โดนเขายิง
pick it up
รัวๆเลย
himself. With how slow these early rounds have been, actually, potential
ไม่ไหว
for
นะโบ๊ทเพื่อน
maybe in a mid round to pick up a Zelsis creeping elsewhere and find a pick off the back of it.
And again, for someone like Chronicle, those 4 were his first 4. But you need that, right? You need your backbone, that spine to the roster.
Much deeper.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยจะแทงวันเวเหรอ
I love this diligence over
ไอ้บัง
Fnatic. They're feeling
อย่า
that
ห้าว
there's
ดีกว่า
variety to this, and there would be adaptation.
Sentinels have shown that they want to re-clear this and fight for this space actively, so
อย่าห้าวดีกว่าบัง
Fnatic sitting back.
Look at these positions from Sen though. Are they going to go for a re-clear in middle or a challenge on this? Look how actively they're playing. Oh, this is super deadly. And that's 2 players spotted. Stun going to come in. She's might be screwed here. Forced out of the corner. He's still finding plays his life. This is so tense.
Even the aftershock doesn't force it.
แคชชี่ต้องกลับก่อนครับ
Even Zekken peeling away from that. Again, 40 seconds on the clock.
ทำไรแทบไม่โดน
It's potentially a sight. Just 2 members of
เนี่ยดู
Sentinels
โบเตอร์
back.
ดิแม่งใช้ทุกวิ
Not sure the
แม่งบีบ
cooldown
แม่ง
there on
บีบ
the
สุด
fault line. We'll be able to apply some pressure here.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, we've got Narrate, Bang. You've still got a lot of util on Narrate. Same with Bang as well with Paranoia. Now the pressure. Narrate
โอ้
can't
โบ๊ท
stand
สวย
it
เปิด
too
ดี
much.
อะเพื่อน
Uses the dart to turn
สวย
his
โบ๊
eye.
ท
Bang now leans in.
โอ้ยโบ๊ทมั่ว
Good enough for the
เหลือคนหนึ่งเฮ้ย
Jump QT on
เวลา
through CT. Does it for now.
สวยแคชชี่
No, that's a spike gun. Oh, it's an absolute fumble and a half.
I mean, Kayak was down to just 10 HP.
กูเจอแต่อะไรไม่รู้อะวันเนี้ยอัน
He's
ติโซ
desperate
ว่า
to get out of the way of it.
Oh, you
เฮ้ย
gutting for him too.
Absolute heartbreak because it's not recoverable at that point.
แม่งต้องมีไอ้นี่แน่เลย NA อันติ
Oh,
นี่ไง
Enemy remaining.
and if you're
เหมือนที่
saying
เหมือน
right,
ที่
nice
เอ้ย
one,
EMEA
appreciate
นี่หว่า
that.
ไม่ใช่
Not to
NA
worry about perfect, but God, for Fnatic, that is
แต่ที่นั่นมัน NA นี่
devastating.
Certainly a tilter.
NA
Five
Secret
down the
Agent
scoreline. Operator back in hand for Zekken as well.
I like this though. He's gone
Look,
deep towards
So
the
aggro, yeah. I mean, they've been given a
เหมื
little
อน
bit
เหมือน
of
เหมือน
freedom on the
CS อะ
side of
เวลา CS
towards this side of the map.
แฟด
Zeus is
เวลา
walking in
CS ทำอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
getting ahead of that camera.
แม่งจะเป็นมีมไหมเนี่ย
Definitely, yeah.
Don't think that jump
Die.
spot saw it either. Careful now,
Ooh.
that's a tag. Didn't get the kill, but now Zelsis readies himself. He knows that pressure could be going through market, but top middle is a place to be worried about. Kron slips the
Ooh.
Second, quick
Oh.
with it. Narrate in support. It's stunning. But still, look at the HP.
Here's a
Kayak
Ken
down
Bajat.
20. Boaster 30. They are
Yet
low.
K.
in this.
Walking wounded. 50 HP between them.
เห็นปะ
Nearly
เห็นป่ะเมื่อ
on
กี้
the backside of them.
ไม่เห็นเว้ย
Oh, this reclear is so well timed. And the old mic.
Might be able to get a plant away, but certainly not going to be comfortable regardless where Fnatic. But Zekken can close the gap so damn quickly.
And again, you've still got that paranoia. Primed with Bang, there he goes. And that's going to catch! Just a shot through the smoke, and Zelsis going to catch Boaster. Now Kayak has to do
อู้ใครจับ
Christ!
เชี่ยแม่ง
I
เอา
was gonna
เรื่อง
say
เว้ย
miracles, and he almost did it.
อู้เขาจับ
Good for the first, but Sentinels standing tall here. Nearly fell off my chair.
Look, if he'd hit another, I think I'd have done the same. But as it stands, I'm going to be honest, by all accounts, this has been Sentinels not looking too uncomfortable. It feels like they've got a good concept and a good read on what Fnatic are trying to achieve. They're handling
ชัดแล้ว
it
แคชชี่
well. It feels like
มึงใช่ไหม
players to really pressure
มึงใช่ไหม
Sentinels.
รับมาใช่ไหม
Has been finding
ส่วนใหญ่ที่โดนจ้างจะเป็นตำแหน่งโซว่าครับ
Sitting towards CT, that market presence, okay.
เหมือนตัวแบบสแกนตัวอันติอะไรอย่างเงี้ย ตัวแบบ
I haven't
ตัว
felt
ชัด
it
เลยอะ
looked that deadly yet.
No, there's been a
ตัวส่งผลน่ะ
really on the side of Fnatic. Like I said, seemingly a lot of freedom for Sentinels on the B side of the map and towards mid as well. First real switch up here.
ช็อกดาดก็ทำร้ายเพื่อนได้ อันติก็ทำร้ายเพื่อนได้ โห
Just thought he was hands off keyboard for a second in
ไอ้
the
เหี้ย
camera. So I
กู
was
ว่า
like,
มัน
oh,
โดนว่ะ
it's all
งาน
good.
เนี้ย
Do not speak it into existence.
เฮ้ยทำอะไรอ่ะ ลูกสูตร ลูกสูตร
Lesser purchase here. 2 rifles on the side of Fnatic.
Trips on the side though. They don't know about this Zelsis. Again, maybe a good counter to Kayak's ult. Maybe just be aware of what they'd want to be doing. But Bang needs to live. He's about to be overrun. He can't handle that. There's just too much going straight up towards that top mid side. Now a chance for Zelsis. It's a spam. Can't get the connect he want and has to back away.
Oh, so lucky to get out of that. Able to break the sight lines here, even though it's tagged by the drone.
เนี่ยขจักมึงบู๊
Probably
ดี
the
กว่า
most
กูชอบ
comfortable post plant we've seen here.
ขจักเล่นดีจริงแม่งบู๊ดีเดือดดี
The ult.
โอ้ย
Certainly now with the pit.
Yeah,
อุ้
really deep
ย
hit from Kron
อัน
as
ติ
well.
ดีว่ะ ไอ้
That's
เหี้ย
just
อันติ
gonna
ยึดซีที
mean that
ครับ
really
อึด
cuts
อัด
off
จัด
CT. You can't even be considering
เฮ้ย
at that point. But then it funnels you forward. Already looking
อัน
for
ติ
two
เข้มมา
players,
เนี่ย
Boaster and Kayak on
เข้ม
site.
จัดเลย
Nice
เซฟ
on
แม่ง
that.
เลยสัตว์อันติ
No shock to see.
มึงอยากได้เหรอ เซนบอกเอาไปดิเฮียไม่เอาเว้ย ไปเร็ว
Once they hold on to the
อันติชนะ
operator,
เลย
and Fun's really looking pretty comfortable regardless at a 6-2 scoreline. I mean, ultimates to bring into the next, only really the
อัน
TP
ติ
for
โคตร
Bosa.
เข้มครับพี่น้อง
Not much else to work around here. That's
Decided on one kill.
Almost having both initiator ultimates on the side of Sentinels.
And here it is, the one kill that pretty much secured the entire round. Like doing that, and then you throw in the pit on top from Fon. That's pretty much checkmate. He's already going back into it. Yes, I guess you could argue they did have narrate ult if they fancied it, but still, it was
roll of the
too
dice, really, yeah.
It just felt like too much of a risk to go for it. So for Fnatic, bit of stability found, but this slow and steady pace, certainly not setting my world on fire, but it has got them 3. Now, to continue forward would be fantastic. What's the adjustment here? What's the way they want to keep playing this? Because eventually Sen will.
โอ้โหเฟนติกเล่นเกมช้าอย่างเดียวเลยครับ
And that was off the back of that ult from Kaya.
สุดจริงเฟนติก
So previously, only 4 rounds found by Fnatic versus Gen G. So maybe that's why they're a little hesitant here. Try and
It's a
draw
test
some of
of
these rounds out.
patience.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Look at this.
certainly not what you want to rely on.
โอ้
This
กู
doesn't
รู้
really
แล้วช้า
scream
เพราะอะไร
confidence to you.
ไอ้นี่หาไลน์อัพอยู่อะดิ
Said this sunset really sets the tone. Getting ahead.
And Bang has been on the money. He's the only one dedicated towards site, and Rates actually managed to make it back over somewhat in time. Still behind the smoke, but another one placed down from Bang. Consideration to play it forward. Great connection on the ult as well. And Bang's position does get considered, but you still can't kill him. Takes away Alpha, and no trade there for Kron. Blinded and hungry, Bang goes in.
เที่ยโหดจังวะ
Takes down Kron, and
Bang.
it is just methodical.
Ooh.
Narrates, Bang, perfect hold.
And the concern being this is the first time Fnatic have stacked up and looked for a set piece.
เชี่ย
Towards
เซ
either
นติเนล
side,
โห
to
ด
be
จัง
honest
วะ
with you. And it gets absolutely dismantled by Sentinels. Bang again, just always
สวัส
good
ดี
for
ค
two
รับ
receipts
ดุก
in
ดิกไอเม
situations
ดุก
like
ดิกไอ
this.
ซี
Again, Bang probably went FC in your highlight reels, right? The 2 safe kills there, but the value he is bringing is second to none. He's top of the board currently, but as said,
เอา
safety
เครียด
kills.
เครียดเครียดเครียด
Even the
Ain't no
coaching
shit.
staff looking a little frustrated at the tempo. Kaplan there just, hey, it's all going well. They're 7-3. Nothing's really phased them yet. It hasn't pushed them out of their comfort zone. And it feels rinse and repeat now.
Scrambled purchase once more from Fnatic. Just going to make round 12 pretty awkward for them.
Oh, three players dedicated towards B this time. I don't know if it's a read into this
Ooh.
goal. That is good info on that.
And another adjustment here on Zelsis' utility at least. And
อ้า
actually
ว อยู่ๆ ก็โดนรีคอน เฮ้ย เห็น
I'll find you.
But I like the narrator noted the players coming through top middle. He's pretty much going to be gift the try and do what you
Ooh.
can. We can't
Yeah.
help you yet. They've
แม่ง
sliced
สวน
right
ไอ้
off the
สัตว์
guts here, Fnatic. Almost
โอ้ย
doing a fake out Alpha.
แม่งสวนกันแวบๆเลยอ่ะ
Fair enough. Zekin, you got a 1v5. No, you don't. Alpha, you
Hey.
absolute nutcase. Catching him easy.
And just like that,
See,
a
Khan
flawless
Nongate.
response from Fnatic.
แม่งสวนกันโคมคามเลยครับพี่น้อง
And the spike and them, almost a great read from Sentinels. To try and, I guess, mitigate the risk on the back of this wall. This time around, the isolation of Bang is perfect. That looked even more ridiculous the second time after that kill from Alpha.
And you're going to need to see that, Alpha. If Ascent's in the map pool, you're going to need to see him firing, right? But 7-4, okay. It's not a complete shutout here. Fnatic have found enough rounds to build forward. Now, again, similar scenes to that last round here.
Well, Fnatic feel as if they have found something to work upon.
I mean, they're drawing the rotation towards top middle, right? You can't leave it open. Narrate has to react. John QT has to be present. This time, Narrate very present. Down to 20, but he's done his job in this. They want to try and get some pressure through market, and Alpha disrespecting the util felt like a desperation play
Yeah,
almost.
Sure.
Bad
And look how
Bosa,
deep they are, Mike.
I was going to say, Bosa tasked now with making something of nothing, to be honest with you.
โอ้
Just as
Not
come
like
through
that.
Zelsis, he would find the wall bang.
โหแก
Now
ชี่
down to Chronicle and Crashies.
แกชี่28เลยเหรอ เฮ้ย คือมันชัดแล้ว
convert here into a 7-5 half. A tall order.
It certainly is, and I have to credit the discipline from Sentinels because the tempo and pacing from
มันจะ
Fnatic,
ชัดอะไรข
which
นาด
has
นั้น
been
นะ
discussed, is very slow. It is very cautious, but Kron
30
got
seconds
them
left.
4 before. Need more this time around. Does have crashies there. One
C
shot
wants to
dart.
make something happen here.
You got to get at least 8 kill, right? That's the long and short of it. You have to at least get a kill to make this possible and ideally be able to back away. They may not expect him so close by, but the horn will do the job. Nice work on one with the trade, instantaneous. Sentinels playing the numbers game very well. Crashies can't do enough. Sentinels looking very in control, Mike. This has not been a problem.
No, I think Fnatic adopt a game plan here to can they build upon that now?
Find you.
And yeah, instantly different pace here coming out. Second fast towards elbow, clearing on through. Paranoia late actually. So you can already see that Kai's had a look, but he sees nothing. Very late presence coming out from Bang Berserker. Straight on the side, Poster. Good denial, takes a whoa!
อุ้ย
Just a second! Get out of there!
เหี้ยโบทเอา2เลยเหรอ
Kai comes back around, but we're in a
เฮ้ยออกมาไหมแคท
Pressure mounting, you can see it. Just getting into the
อู้
scrum.
แคทไม่ยืนทำเชี่ยอะไรวะ
The pistol.
Another situation where you think Fnatic have got the early win to get around under their belt. Sentinels just strip it away.
ไปยืนเท่อยู่
Boaster, 2 fantastic kills that stun on the first actually to find Zekken with a right click, but then double it down under so much pressure. But Narrate really stretching his legs.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
that was gorgeous.
แคทชี่เล่นไม่ดีเลยว่ะ
That was gorgeous from the right. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That was something quite special there. And a mid-walk from Fnatic wanting to take the fight to Sentinels. You're on the defending side now, guys. You could have chilled out. But Narrate going to pick up where he left off. Carrying on this sort of fatality, lethality, but also on a classic. I'm sorry, maybe...
Oi!
What? Kron? What is going on, Mike? Are we in deathmatch?
Fnatic seemingly now looking to play a little more aggressively, taking the fight to Sentinels as you would have wished in the first half. Boaster put a classic in his hands and he's shining
no
right
more,
now.
Right? You're not going to do...
Besting Zekken twice now.
That's ridiculous. Hello. Hello, speed up. Delsis clears him. No more naughtiness for that.
วิ่งมากระทืบเลยโบทบอก
Crashies, who's lingering around middle, maybe able to see if he can get maybe something
I was
to
going to say,
fight
yeah,
in
can he
with.
recover anything?
'Cause they've still got the main weaponry. You're looking at it, right? The 2 Bulldogs are still there. It's one Stinger that's gone down. And
Knife
Delsis, yeah, right place, right time, and Crashies knife out. Ain't gonna do it. 10 discovered for Sen.
มีสะกิดกันเล็กน้อยฮะ
Trying something here. You might as well in a round like
Absolutely,
this.
yeah. So it really comes down to this buy round now. Got to see them get on the board here.
Yeah.
Too late.
Be 11 and a broken purchase once more.
Okay.
Nice, boys. Come on, let's go.
เอาแล้วเฟนาติก
Stripping away any
เฟนาติก
comfort.
ไม่เอาแล้วเหรอ เฮ้ย เอาหน่อย
Fnatic have even attempted to find. I haven't found it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I've got to say as well, the part being in my mind, this hasn't just been the Zekken show, right? It's everyone else stepping up here. Your Narrate having a great show, Bang being on the money, Zelsis as well, everyone else doing their jobs.
My ult is ready.
They haven't really needed Zekken to be the all singing, all dancing. But now on the attack, obviously with the Neon, this is where we could see him kick it up a gear.
And on the attack to have
มัน
a
แรง
round
จริงว่ะ
3
ไอ้
initiator
Stinker
ultimate is huge for Sentinels.
แรงมาก
Do they fancy popping that? Got time. All the pressure on Fnatic in this regard, right? They have to stay on their toes here. Can't afford to drop the ball. That pistol round would have been everything. If they've been able to drop Narrate there, that could have changed the outcome potentially, but he's still slipping through middle.
It's a very, very secure setup here for Fnatic, though.
Yeah, all that info off of the back
Alpha's
of
gotta be
Cardiac.
careful.
Yeah, great paranoia,
Oh.
but still alive is Sen. Narrate
โดนส
can
ตัน
take
ครับ
out
อัลฟา
Alpha,
เจอ
and
ร์
they have to back away. There goes that ult we were talking about. Value, yes, and Sen looking for the
Oh.
site. But bang! Back to back! Poster on Kron, devastated.
Crashes down to 11 HP. Fnatic have to give this up now.
There's no way back in. The flank irrelevant.
Spike planted.
This is unreal. Sen looks so comfortable here.
Fnatic look a little lost, to be honest with you.
They do. And have we seen timeouts yet?
จบ
Seen just the one from Fnatic very early on.
Love to see another.
But this setup here, it was both Chronicle and Alpha, but Alpha's posted up close and personal with his utility.
เล่นไม่ดีจ
Again,
ริง
maybe a lack of information, but Crashes has already
หนัก
kind of figured out they drifted back into mid because that, well, not contact found, but
No,
damage trade
yes.
It's really bizarre to see that. Unfortunate set of events. Kayak now, maybe actually, on the chopping block here.
Yeah, a little bit dangerous for him.
Oh, actually, a cheeky smoke as well. So 5 alive,
Yep.
2 rifles maintained here for Fnatic, but a long road back in, and that, I mean, the only saving grace being that they've held onto 2 of those rifles because the money, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Alpha, I mean, again, in that situation, if you're there, you have to commit towards the kill. You back up, you're dead regardless. But with the reveal through the near side, just can't find Zekken. Painting a silhouette around him.
All right, it's kind of crunch time, right? It feels like we've gone here with a bit of a whimper from Fnatic. It hasn't been the show we wanted yet. Sentinels just striding through the map. Zekken looking for the space, going to work off the back of the paranoia, going to be punished. Kayak, nice, set into motion there. Zekken goes down and maybe still a chance to get some control in this one. Oh, that's lovely. Kayak just a shot through the smoke. He'll take that every day of the
ใครเนี่ยเอามาจะคัมแบ็กเหมือนวูฟหรือเปล่า
Ceding this space.
แต่ถ้าไม่ใช่เจนจีทำไม่ได้ครับ
Early win out here. Can just play
หมายถึง
towards
โดน
trades
คัม
on
แบ็ก
site. If Sentinels commit,
ต้องเป็นเจนจีเท่านั้นนะที่จะโดนได้ไอ้เหี้ย
Zelsis has potentially some ideas at threading the needle here in this Fnatic setup.
Crashes
He's still guarding it.
He hasn't had a great
ฉะนั้นไม่เกิดขึ้นกับ
series
Fnatic
map
แน่นอน
here. So
เพราะมึงกำลังเจอ
again,
Sentinel
Zelsis
อยู่
has been on the money. That's a
ถ้าเจอ
shot
เจน
up.
จีเป็นไปได้เลย
That's a stun. Didn't quite connect, but the shot
Oh,
does.
catchy.
Zelsis carving a path. And now both are trying to play it forward.
โอ้ยแคชชี่ไหวปะเนี่ย โอ้โห
Setting this round alight. Sentinels
seconds left.
making
โอ้มันเล่นดีจั
Fnatic
งวะ
look silly.
ไอ้เหี้ย
The early win out for Fnatic, but Sentinels able to course correct here. Now find themselves
เซล
the
ซิก
bodies of
ลั่น
the
ไอ้
good
เหี้ย
in the post.
Zelsis just nutmegging them straight up middle. Not a chance. And now they've got to try and fight it back in, right? But you've got Chronicle and Alpha. Not really easy to bring this utility in. Double stacked up on the site. Gonna try and get themselves away, but you're gonna still play in Zelsis. Alpha making a go of it, but Zelsis does so well. Down to the 1v1, but time is running low. John QT calm under pressure. Kron, same sort of thing.
เออ
He's got the half.
สูตรบูมเฮ้ย
Kron, you absolute
ไอ้เหี้ยนี่แม่งเกินสูตรบูมไปเยอะ
Trying to bait out the steps here, but Chronicle
ไอ้เหี้ยนี่แม่งเกินสูตรบูม
doesn't
ไปเยอะ
back down. Brazen.
เป็นไงเมื่อกี้ครึ่งก็จบเหมือนกันปะ
To do that at that
คือมันต้อง
scoreline,
ครึ่งเว้ยตอนแรกครึ่งอ่ะ
that would have been 12.
คือพวกนี้มันเป็นอะไรอ่ะ
I've got to roll it
ไม่
back.
ค่อยครึ่งว่ะเพิ่งครึ่งไปเลย
Perfection here from Sentinels. You see as well.
ไอ้เชี่ยอยากจะโทรไปหามันว่ะ
Coming back online to set this lurk in motion. That's how they're
แล้วมันมีโอกาสครึ่งตลอดอ่ะ
in their favor.
เห็นป่ะไอจอนก็วิ่งมาปุ๊บวิ่งมาเลี้ยวน่ะคือได้ครึ่งไปแล้ว
Fnatic cling to
โอ้ย
life
โอ้ย
here.
โอ้ยไอ้จักจะล่วง
Sunset. Actually, again, we're seeing further aggression, or at least probes sent out by Fnatic. No reward just yet.
Going again. We do have the owl drone. Having a glance. Should just make it past the wall. We'll note the player on the right side.
Ooh,
And
that-
Kayak. Gonna
Spike
catch the
down
rate,
mid.
so good damage here. Oh, just caught!
Just below the door.
เออ
Oh, that's a nightmare, isn't it? Trying to back away towards market.
และไอ้ชิ้นนั้นเสือกปิดประตูไงขจัก
Only really got Chronicle's utility now to rely on. And this wall committed towards mid, so
อ๋อ
Sentinels plenty of options. Actually drawn Alpha away as well, so going to leave that utility control of A-Sign. Actually, neural theft will be invested.
Look towards top middle. Zekken might just pop off this as well. Kron's going to be the one to try and deal with them if they come market, but no, it is straight top middle. He's taking space. Alpha reactive, trying to slip away. Spots the pixel, gets the
30
body
seconds
drop.
left.
Jump QT down, he knows his
Ooh.
fault.
Yeah,
Alpha,
Alpha
big double kill.
Yeah,
But
I'll
there's
wait.
still so much more to be done. 20 seconds. Where's that spike going? Bang's got his ult if he wants it. God. Oh my goodness.
Oh my word.
There's no way they read this though, right? 13 seconds. The plant.
Zelsis, yeah, a little lazy
Whoa.
peek in here, but actually on the wall.
Good God, this is just centimeters away from being deadly. 5 seconds has to commit on the plan here, and Kayak closing in. Chronicles fallen. It's on
อะไร
Kayak.
วะเนี่ย
Crashes
มีสตัน
in
ทำ
the
ไมไม่เล่นวะ
2v2
ไอ้เหี้ยงง
Bang
ว่ะ
and Zelsis.
โอ้
Zelsis
โดน
takes
ไอ้
the
เหี้
head
ย
off of Crashes, leaving just Kayak, the young gun. Good for it on one, looking for his second.
โอ้ไอ้เหี้ยแม่งเข้าถึงนีออนไอ้เหี้ย
But he has been exceptional for this team.
In another hero round from
โอ้
Zelsis.
ขาจัก
This Kayak with the Red Bull
แม่งเข้า
clutch.
ถึงนีออนแบบเต็ม 100%แม่ง
Six
ส
on the
ตันดี
board now
เหี้
for
ย
Fnatic.
Poison's gone.
In the finest of margins, and Crashy's a little disconnected. Obviously, the anchor over towards A side with all of Alpha's utility. The bounce on that stun, outrageous from Kayak.
ไอ้นั่นแม่งเล่นไม่ดีคนในเพื่อน
Nice try, boys.
That was a lovely little Red Bull.
โอ้แต่เซลซิสลั่นอย่างนี้กูบอกเลย
Kayak is
เซนชนะว่ะ
messing with him, really.
เซลซิสเวลามันเป็นอย่างเงี้ยแล้วมันน่ากลัวเว้ย
At this point, I think a lot of us saw
แม่ง
on
สุด
the
จัด
socials
เซลซิส
wasn't
อะ
feeling his best.
Yeah.
โคตรลั่นเลย
Putting on a great show.
กูและไอ้บล็อกด่านมันด้วย
And it is that kind of old
สวยแล้ว
everyone can be great when they aren't tired, when they aren't feeling under the
ตามไอ้บล็อกที่มันยิงเจนจีพังได้ไหม
good for it. But we look at how these rounds have gone, Mike. We've had what Kron with a full defuse.
ไอ้ท่านลิง
We've
อ่ะ
had a clutch coming out from
Like I said,
Kayak.
they're not ones that kind of fill you with
This is all
confidence.
repeatable, yeah. On the other side, it is a timeout sense. So just don't
แต่ว่ามันแบบ3อะไอ้บล็อกอะ
still have timeouts to work.
มีโอกาสถึงไหม
Just try not to burn one here. See how far they can take this out. Gonna have a lot of bolts to be working towards.
I was just saying as well, another hero round from Zelsis who's quietly actually crept to the top of the board ahead of Bang.
And
And Narrate as well, who's had a couple, what, is that 2 or 3 Ks we've
Something
seen
like that.
from him?
I'm really impressed with how Zelsis is reading the map. It's all kind of timing and nice, kind of like
That
punishing on
previous-
rotates.
Yeah, the lurk up top mid was fantastically executed.
Again, you don't normally kind of be having this conversation about Zelsis in that light, but I'm so happy to be seeing he's really found a way to get through that Fnatic defense. Now we go back in. I'm trying to draw the eyes and all the attention, see if they can cost that rotate, right? Bring that third
แต่
body
ขาจัก
over.
นี่มาแรงจริง โหด
Crash is
โหด
just
โหดเลย
playing
ขาจักอะโหดมาก
rotation game.
โหดจริงๆครับ
Actually, it's early commitment back towards B with Kayak now picking up the slack in mid. He's going to have friends up there.
He's got 3 up here. Probably the play you want to avoid. But they think they've got something. And Crashes catches, encourages the counter swing. Nice little 1-2 punch at the top and middle. Well read by Fnatic in that one. Good timing as well to punish Celtics on the lurk. Fnatic, sorry, did you suddenly just get given the Sentinels book? How did you just read everything they were about to do?
ลีดไลท์อะบุ๊กอะ
Crazy to see Fnatic
รู้
respond
ทุกอย่าง
with a
ว่า
round like
ว่า
this.
เซนติเนลจะทำอะไรครับ
Creeping
ไปเจอ
all the way
3 เจอ 2 หมดเลยครับ เซนติเนล
Sharp to
สวย
it.
มาก
Where the hell did that round
เหี้ย
come from?
โบเตอร์อ่าน
I
ไว้
mean,
หมด
it's
แล้วครับทุก
fantastic
คน
read. The setup
Yeah.
was beautiful.
เอ้าบันไลแล้วไง
I'm honestly a little stunned at it, but as it stands, John P just trying to play this out.
30 seconds left.
If you're looking at it, who needs ult? I guess Crashies could do with
As
this
I say,
one.
regardless, I mean, unless he's left to
ไม่
survive.
เสี่ยงไม่เสี่ยงครับ ไม่อยากยิงเยอะไอ้ยไม่อยากไปตายเยอะ เดี๋ยวเงินก็ไม่ค่อยเยอะนะ แฟนติกมึงทำดีๆเด้อ
Money a little weird for
ปล่อยเขาไปก็ได้เขาเงินเยอะ
T sat at 4,500 and Zelta.
มี100 มี 100 มี 400 อย่างเงี้ย ไม่เสี่ยงไปบู๊ดีกว่าครับ
Be able to pass some weaponry across the board, but that'll be 7.
วันนี้ครับกีดคุณนี้เชียร์โบ๊ทไหมอยู่แล้วครับ
Back into
โอ้แล้ว
sunset.
ปกติพี่ค่อนข้างตรงข้ามมันตลอดนะเซนน่ะ
Starting to get it, but again, this was lovely from Crashies.
ไม่รู้ทำไม
But the fact they already had 2 other players set up ready
เซนในหัวกูมันคือทีมสตรีมเมอร์เดย
It all
ตั้งแต่มีไอ
kind of
เทน
fell
น่ะ
to pieces, right? The domino
แต่มันเก่งนะ
style.
ไม่ใช่หมายความว่าไม่เก่ง แต่รู้สึกว่า
And talking of snowball,
มันคือทีมสตรีม
Fnatic
เมอร์
almost
สำหรับ
have
ผ
all
ม
5
แต่มันเก่งอะ
ults
Oh
ready.
yeah, they're in a fantastic position here.
This-
One away for Crashies as
แต่ก็
well.
ตรง
There's
ข้า
no
ม
way
มัน
this
ต
game
ลอด
gets
อยู่
close, right?
I mean, this half certainly suiting Fnatic way more. I said it's that aggression or willingness to kind of stand and
ฟิ
fight
ล
that
ทีมดา
we
รา
didn't really see in the
อะไร
first
แบบ
half.
นั้นน่ะจะแบบ
So
ดู
Sentinels
ไม่ใช่
just
นักแข่งขนาดนั้นน่ะ
happy to receive time and time again, and Fnatic stumbling on the first hurdles on their attacking half. Here we've seen some fantastic reads, beautiful setups.
แต่มันคือทีมนักแข่งนะตอนเนี้ยมันไม่มีสตรีมเมอร์ละ
Line here. They do go around that. Really heads up work, actually. Nice. And burning a bit of the util too. This is ticking the boxes here, protocol list-wise. And again, Sen finding it hard to get a grip on where Fnatic are.
Sentinel's just desperate for a fight somewhere.
The discipline's not going to be giving that up from Fnatic. They've been playing this slow and steady pace.
Second happy to entertain the idea regardless. Now, 45 seconds on, waiting for some of those cooldowns to come back online, and Alpha
อ๋ออัลฟาไอ้เฮียนี่จะปล่อยมือเล่น
potentially read this backside of the fake. Now, still TP
มา
here
เฟ
for
กครับ
Matt.
มาเฟก
Still got all the trips as well, and look
Yeah,
at
so
where they are.
he can sit here, but with the utility, as you've noted, you're going to know there's been no progress towards site.
This is great. Boast is in the right place for this too. 25 seconds.
อุ้ยเวลาหม
We're
ด
gonna
แล้ว
have
มั้
to
ง
make a run for this one. Zek's found Kai.
อุ้ยไม่โดนตีด้วย
Oh my god, Boaster gets away with it.
เวลา
Standing, got his paranoia, got the
วู้
gets out of there. Next player coming in.
โอ้ไอ้นั่น
Gets
ยิงอะไร
forward.
อ่ะ
Alpha controlling the back line. 10 seconds. Boaster buying time. Seconds springs forward. Zels is trying.
เวลาครับเซลซิสคนเดียว
7 seconds though. They are running out of time.
เซล
Zels is has
เซล
to one, and
เซ
they're
ล
closing in. Fnatic
โดนกระทืบครับเซล โอ้โมดเอ็นทีว่ะเฮ้ยแต่หลบอันติได้ดีฮะไม่โดนอันติ
To perfection here.
ใครได้แชมป์หรอ
Having that third body over
ไอ้เหี้ย
towards
ตอนแรก
the
เจน
side.
จีนะเว้ย
I mean, Boaster's done so well.
ตอนนี้เป็นเปเปอร์เล็กแล้วไงหมดแล้วไงเหลือเดียวเปเปอร์เล็กแล้ว
Just passing it by. But this TP back as well, it forces Sentinels to hesitate. They have to hard clear. I mean, Dekken makes handy work of it, but
There can
like I
only
said, it's
be
the clock then that suits Fnatic. Nobody has to swing onto these angles. They can wait for
ทิป
Zelsis
หายแล้ว
to
โดน
make a
คัมแบ็กมา
move.
นี่
5 volts. This is actually the 6th. That was going to be Sentinels. Zekken going to go for it. Just the stinger in the back pocket. But now,
อู้โบสได้ตัวสำคัญครับ เซเคนที่กำลังกดอันติอยู่
tempo piece towards B, but there's still 3 bodies here, Mike. Do they cancel on this? Now on the ult, surely.
Zelsis knows he's got a bit of a gap to play with here.
Oh, he's been great at these.
Still a trip behind him.
ทิปหายแล้วตายไว้เนี่ยแคช
Fnatic
ชี่
again now, actively trying to hunt him out. Say no, he hasn't crossed.
Oh, Zelsis. He might. Oh my god. How is Crashies alive? I thought he was on a platter, but the pacing here isn't quite high tempo enough. They've got a complete free sight. Alpha's still here.
โอ้
Wonder Kid
โอ้โห
slaps straight away from it. And now down to 3. That plant doesn't feel comfortable yet. Got to wait out the ult from Crashies. They still got more to burn if they need it. 40 seconds, a second attempt at
โอ้
the plant.
Come through now. The 3v4 now for Sentinels. Zelsis trying to get active, find something.
โอ้มุมเดิมเลย มุมเดิมเลย
Back to back, clip that, I don't care. Zelsis.
Oh.
What the hell is this from Alpha? Zelsis has to be a hero though. He has to put on the cape, put on the costume, and find 2. He's doing the dance. He's desperate for it, and they fly in. Fnatic still alive. Oh,
Yes.
Just went nuclear.
Ridiculous from Alpha. I mean, the first one crucial just to slow down the hit here.
Bang. What?
Show me the second.
Oh.
Exactly the same. Just disgusting.
That's unreal.
And then
One
finds the
enemy
spam as
remaining.
well through the wall.
Yeah, he's here. He's here. He's here. You better watch out for him.
And Fnatic now
5 rounds, Mike.
knocking
Then
on
go.
the door.
5 rounds in a row. Sentinels don't like that one.
ชุดใหม่ว่าเชื่อมือ
Fnatic have actually still got a timeout as well. I said the timeout came in the 3rd or 4th round. I
It was
can't remember
super
the
early,
first half,
super
but
early.
Boaster certainly keeping things in control, I guess, in game.
11 อีกแล้วเหรอ
Now it comes down to a bit of a face-off here.
11 มันจะเป็นอ
Finances
ย่างนี้ต
starting
ล
to
อดใช่
dwindle
ไหม
now. 4 Sentinels. Still actually ultimates to play with as well for Fnatic. Do have Narrate's ultimate, but Neural Theft, Kayak, Chronicle actually does have the pit.
And I feel crazy having this conversation, but I didn't expect to see a world where Fnatic win this map. And then that changes how the veto looks, right? That's a conversation for afterwards, but...
Well, especially after the first half. I was
Correct.
almost sold then in my prediction, but
Yep. Wait, who did you predict for this game?
for the series...
Yeah.
Okay. Go there.
Well, no, I'll admit it.
Fnatic. You wanted Sen, I know you did.
Wait, you went for Fnatic?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. Crazy.
I've still got Kayak down the
โอ้
side.
my god
Fair play, fair
มัน
play.
จะเกิดคัมแบ็กอะไรขนาดนั้นวะ
This is one of those swing factors you aren't familiar with Fnatic. When Kayak's previously had some bad games, that operator used to get him out of that
The
ditch.
catalyst for him.
สอง
But
สอง
he's
ทีม
certainly
ติด
not
เลย
been
เหรอ
in any ditch so far. He's been
Huh?
having a mad performance.
เป็นไปได้เหรอ
added
วะ
to this.
Maybe this is a read into the pace or the
แต่มัน
tempo
กำลัง
shift after
อยู่
this
ใน
time
เส้น
out.
ทางนี้อยู่
Could
นะ
be rewarded
ต
here.
อนนี้
Actually does look like a contact play from Sentinels.
Oh god, if they're going contact on this, it is so brutal. Kayak's going to be a one and done. Yeah,
Still gets it.
all good.
ชิบ
Zekken,
หายละ
he's had a hard game here, I'm going to be honest, and that's rare to say because I feel like Zekken's one of those consistent high achievers. But he's struggling with that and another deep line adopted. They've got to commit utility to force him away. You can't be going for these contact pieces now. Ooh, a little cup.
โอ้
I mean, smoke's going to make it difficult to get
do it. Go on, do the thing, do the thing. Walk the smoke, I dare you. Oh, he's being sensible, Mike.
You hate to
รอ
see
อั
it.
นตีครับ เดี๋ยวอันตีรีเทค
Finding
ด้วยกันครับ
boys around the world devastated.
Still got his ultimate though.
Right here.
Hey,
Can make something happen potentially here in the post plant. Very slow, cautious in approach here, but Kayak confident. His teammate's got his back here.
They got to start building now, though. The time is ticking, right? There's the trade out, the paranoia. Not
เฮ้ย
gonna
ข
be
จักมึงอันตีได้ละ
working
มั้ง
there. Send through. Fnatic got to get moving. Send with an opportunity now.
เอ้ยนี่เดินมั่ว
Why is no one looking at Chronicle? But
Hey,
now
hey,
they're
hey,
right
hey,
back in the headlights. He's going to know where they are, but Crashy's sticking on the defuse here. Swing!
ว้าวอ้าว
Oh, just misses out.
เฮ้ย
It would have needed an ace from the raid. But Crash
เฮีย
has
นาเลด
to
นาเลด
make a move here. The
โอ้ย
Red
ขจักมึงมาพลาดอะไรอย่างงี้วะ
going in Sentinel's favour to find 12.
I know exactly.
โอ้มันเป็นหน้าที่มึงเว้ยอัลฟาเจอร์มองทางนั้นน่ะ
Just too late. Just even the rate unsure, hand shaking for a second, but then he's up. Knows what he's done. He's got Sen to 12.
โอ้ไอ้
breaking
เหี้ย
that
อัลฟาเจอร์ทำอะไร
momentum.
วะ
Sentinels back, looking ready for this, but they got to keep going now. God, the money's so fragile still.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah. After that string around,
Oh
look at
my
Fnatic
God.
Crashes.
โอ้โหไม่โดนแฟดโบ๊ทเฮ้ยโบ๊ททำไรอ่ะโบ๊ท
Beautiful.
อุ้ย
Waiting for Narrate to be the one doing this. Finding comfort out in America.
Face
Alpha
your
does
fear.
catch Celsius. Crashy's now got bodies in front of him abounding. Zekken gonna take away the sight. Plant now next. You're down to 2. Chron and Alpha. Big names. Same to be said on the other side. 4 players waiting. Sentinels 2 kills away from map 1 under the belt. Chron waiting. Alpha. Contact made. Narrate down. Next layer has to come in. They join together. Playing in unison now. 1 right, 2 left. Chron has a little look. Finds one close. Waits for the swing. Now we're going to need a magic moment from Alpha. 6 bullets and the time's not on his side. But second. 12 HP.
He's misread this.
Oh my god. Zekken is absolutely ice. God damn.
ไม่ขึ้นไม่ขึ้นไม่ขึ้นแม่งไม่ขึ้นเว้ยถ้ามันเอาขึ้นมาจบแล้วเว้ยสูตรเอาขึ้นบูมอ่ะคือทำไมไม่มีใครฟังกูเลยวะไอ้นาย ทำไม
Fnatic looking like they were able.
These 2 creative sides. Fnatic on the attack and of course Sen then on the defending side.
มาให้โดนเล่นนะดิ
We got a lot to learn.
เวเล
Already a 3-play stack on this B site.
ไม่ค่อยรุ่งอ่ะเวเลอ่ะ
Pressure here, a probe
เนี่
sent
ย
out
เอ
in
เจนต์ไทย
terms of the util from
ได้อยู่
Crashes.
ได้อยู่
Second motion is played towards short. It's Alpha to lead the charge. We'll find John QT, but actually no damage done there.
No, and that's a couple of those bullets spent.
ได้อยู่ได้อยู่
Rotations coming in. Narrate's going to be here. Kayak on the corner.
โอ้ได้อยู่
Nice
เจ็บ
shot
หัว
from
อยู่
Kayak. Quick to try and hunt that down. Does get denied the springboard forward, but Narrate's screwed. Yeah, Chron was hungry for that. And they're fighting for that space behind tree, taking over towards heaven, making the site really uncomfortable. It's two players trying to.
อันเดอร์เพื่อนอันเดอร์ไม่เคลียร์เพื่อน
And if they get the spacing right here, Fnatic, it should be pretty light work. This was really well crafted, Mike.
Just to say, the miss.
อัลฟาเจอร์นิ่งพอเว้ย
Connecting with the headshot. Zekken now
Spike
need
planted.
an ace to find this pistol.
Have I told you about the story of Zekken?
อัลฟาเจอร์เล่นคู่กับไอ้ขจักไงเฟก2แล้ววาร์ปกลับไง
I've not told you that one.
You have not.
He was on a
แล้วใคร
wing
เปิด
lane.
อันตี
It's
เนี่ย
crazy,
ที่ซี
right?
ทีเนี่ย
Yeah.
เหี้ยอะไรวะเนี่ย
Second map.
แดง
It must have been probably a different game because I don't see it
ๆเฮ้ย
happening
วอล
now.
อะไรวะเนี่ย ใช้ได้ปะเนี่ย
One's playing the no fun allowed game.
The fun police.
Yeah, they've turned up. Sirens are on. Yeah, Zekken's having a go, but it's... Even in the losses, the man's still scared.
ได้อยู่ได้อยู่
God, that man.
เซเคน
Nasty with it. But around nevertheless for Fnatic here to get the first in the second map.
Certainly a confidence booster through everything they had at that comeback on map 1.
เจอบอกแถวนั้นกูไปว่ะ
Said Sentinels. Well, now a curveball here in map 2 and maybe some early learnings here to find
One enemy remaining.
on the side of Fnatic. Excited to see, really. I mean, it will be the face-off. Maybe not in the first half here between Alpha and Zekken. Maybe not so much Kayak in that regard.
All right, one Sheriff for Zekken. And obviously on the other side, you're going to see them try and go farming here. But a big investment, Kron, Kayak.
ได้อยู่ได้อยู่
Wise possessions they don't want to be losing, and a 5-play stack. So they better avoid one side of this map if they know what's good for them. But let's see if they can just test out the waters. This puts a lot of pressure on, I'd say, Crashies to kind of do this good scouting to make sure they don't fall into these sort of traps in
เอา
place.
อีกแล้วไปคู่แล้วครับแล้ว
So
วาร์ป
they're aiming towards middle
สาย
to
ไป
begin
คู่
with.
วาร์ป
The space to play into.
นี่ไง
Sure.
วาร์ปมาที่เดียวกันด้วย
Still cautious.
เฮ้ยแม่งบีเคลียร์เพื่อน
Give away any early advantage here in round 2.
Ooh. Okay, Narrate goes down. Nice.
Cruise
Enough correction in the end from Alpha from that second. This is good for him. Again, you want to see confidence being built. The other 4 for Sen. Not really all that enthused by this round, are they?
No. Especially when you look back towards the minimap now. The big gap. Full ground to cover.
Good call from Fnatic, though. They'll be happy enough with that.
Still so cautious of
Yep.
a snake in the water here. We'll find a clean plant though. Able to get themselves out of sight as well.
เรียบร้อยเลย
They're
ฝั่ง
really
นี้เคลีย
scratching
ร์เล
their
ย
heads now.
Guys are not here. Zekken is getting closer. Doors shut, though. Nope.
เอ้าใครเปิดตู
Doors open.
เปิดไปฆ่า
And,
เลยครับ
Fnatic would like to find the opponents. It does seem a little bit of
Dala,
hide and seek
Dala.
so far, but Kayak going to take down Zekken, who did have that Sheriff. So the main sort of danger weapon gone.
Oi.
Speaking of weapons,
Hãy
there is
sọc cái
one
bọt
now
chửi lời.
trapped.
Launching thorns.
Have to see if they can recover this or keep it out of their hands, but Zelsis, this is a lot. That's 3 players here. They're going to make Fnatic work for this, though.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Still trying to keep them in market here. Well, actually both kills come
จะเอา
through.
ปืน
Okay,
เหรอจะเอา
Vandal
ปืน
back
เหรอ
in.
มึง
Everything recovered. So yeah, Vandal, Phantom, and the Guardian still in rotation.
Yeah, difficult to really police the weapons
Yeah.
in that situation. Almost want to force Fnatic a little deeper, maybe to fall to the spike, but the plant position. A little bit of safety here. Damage done though. Really going to cause problems for the purchase here. And
Okay.
obviously the offset to that being Alpha.
ไม่เอากูแล้ว
Revealing
Also
area.
the ability to buy up effectively a Guardian in the back pocket.
That works.
ไม่ใช่แล้ว
Right side of the map for Zekken this time. Does have Zelsis here too. Alpha propped up towards B main very early. Again, this tempo from Fnatic is slow. We've been kind of talking about this. Very, very slow and steady.
Yeah, and certainly
They're
some
attacking
question marks here of what Zekken's going to be doing. Does enable a lot of defensive aggression. And Alpha
Shot.
beheaded.
เดินมาเอาเลย ช้ามึงโดนเลย
In similar setup though to what we saw earlier on. It's not Alpha to lead the charge here, but rather sell the fake elsewhere.
I quite like the deeper positioning from Narrate. We've seen that Fnatic do like to prioritize that deeper tree control as well. If he can police this, it'd be impressive, but it's difficult. Fnatic once again taking that territory. Kayak tries to get a little technical with it, but Narrate
ยืน
comfortable
นาเล
under
ดแม่งลั่น
pressure.
จังวะ
So far, so good. Actually,
Oi,
overextends
yeah.
and is rewarded.
Spike down A.
Two with the Bulldogs, by the way.
โดนนาเลดหมดเลย
Will force now Chronicle and Boast to consider just holding on to this weaponry.
Not many opportunities for a play here with that spike going through tree, as said. If
mean,
it all goes wrong, you're
10
kind of
seconds
stuck
left.
there.
So they do have the benefit. It's only Alpha that's broken. Got himself as close to a real weapon as you could hope for with that amount of credits left in the bank. Sentinels here on the board on Ascent. As wide, it's only really Kayak and Alpha making progress here. Crashes as well, actually. Yeah, and the rate goes huge here with Bulldog. But there from
30
Kayak's
seconds
position,
left.
snappy
Spike
onto
down.
Crashes as well, who had a rough first map. We'll see him certainly establish himself early on here on Ascent.
Yeah, and a little bit scary as well. If Narrate starts going early, you saw how that last map ended. I mean, he was on a high note and a half.
Oh, he's buzzing up on his feet.
Oh, and a little bit of a deeper exploration coming out from Zek in there. So this feels like this fight's going to be happening a lot, right? Between Alpha and Zek and fighting for that sort of early space on maybe B main or over towards A. This time Zelsis there with him. And they are waiting. This time Alpha, a bit of damage done. Zelsis wants to clear this util, but couldn't quite crest the corner.
We really want to see them remove the...
That's 3
Here,
players.
yeah.
They should have noted on this side of the map.
The rate's been fairly quick to rotate over towards A. He's making moves
คิดว่าปา
now.
รีสน่าจะเริ่มสักทุ่มกว่า
But this time around, the difference being Fnatic sit
ๆ
behind
ปา
this.
รีสทุ่มกว่า
Spike still over towards the B side.
ปกติแข่งเริ่มตอนกี่โมง
Second
ทุก
still
คน
commanding
แบบคู่แรก
space
อะ
into B main.
ที่ไทยเริ่มกี่โมงอะ
Oh, outdone this time. Back and forth between these two so far in these rounds.
ปารีสจะ
Zelsis still
จะ
has
เร็ว
some stall
เอ้ย
on
จะ
his
ช้า
site.
กว่าเรา5 ชั่วโมง
Can buy a bit of time. We saw that earlier rotation coming out from Narrate. Now he wants to get back. Can Zelsis buy some precious seconds? Can he keep Fnatic
ตอ
away
นที่
from
มา
the
ที่
door?
ไทยนี่เริ่มกี่โมง
Chomping at the bit to get closer, looking for that cross
They lose
towards
you
side. Slips in the smoke, takes away
Lương bài
Alpha,
rồi.
looks for some more damage, but he can't do much more. Kind of pinned in at this
ก็
point,
มา
had
6 โม
to
ง
give
ทุ่
up
มหนึ่งเหรอ
cap.
หุ้ยเวลาสวยอยู่นะ
The flash is perfect. Zelsis couldn't catch him. He actually walked to the backside of it as well.
เอ้ยไอเตือนที่
And
ทำ
an
อะไรวะ
overextension towards
ไอเตือน
CT.
ที่
I
ทำ
thought
เหี้ย
they
อะไร
would
วะ
try and buy, but
เดิน
Zelsis
ไปเดิน
wants to
มา
help him. The Chronicle goes down and leaves it in this 3v3. Now how does Sen then break back through towards the site itself? Look at the utility they have.
ถ้า
One
ถ้าที่
flash
ไทย
for
เริ่ม
John
บ่าย
GT.
ปารีส
That's
ก็
it,
บว
pretty
กไป
much
5
one
ชั่วโมง
smoke
นะ
for
6 โมง
Bang.
ทุ่มหนึ่งประมาณ
Difficult to breach this side of the map.
สวยอยู่นะ
And that's it. That's
ได้
pretty
เล
much
ย
it.
อ่ะ ถือว่าเป็นเวลา
Towards
ที่
Gap,
เหมาะ
high
สม
flash
เลยอะ
swing. Away we go. Crashes blind.
Ah!
What is that? Bang still firing on all cylinders though. He knows where Kayak
อู้
is.
พายักมั่นใจ
To
ฮะ
kill him. Kayak survives and Fnatic make it out like bandits.
How is Crashes alive there to find a kill? Maybe just a catch on the flash themselves, but
อิงไม่พาบุญไปปารีสเหรอ มันก็ยาก
Yeah, weird exchange here between Zelsis and Chronicle. Bang almost lining up a 4K here.
One
God, Bang. So close on that.
ไอ้เหี้ยเอ้ยถ้าเขาถามสมมติไลออดถามไม่ไอ้เนี่ยใครเนี่ยบูมหมอไอ้ยิงเสนอชื่อไป ไหนมันจะตีมในไหนอะ ไอ้ยิงบอกซูปแม่งงงเลยเอ้ยไหนเหรอซูป
Maybe not liking it, maybe
คืออะไร
just
ซูป
trying to get a grip on this. Again, you're playing up against a comp that you probably aren't super familiar with. You're seeing a chamber again, seeing this sort of thing. And again, if you're looking at the coaching staff, Kaplan's there going to be trying to keep in touch with them quick.
And you could argue it's maybe some of the rounds that are most frustrating to lose because there's not necessarily any flair or, you know, nothing special about some of these rounds. If Alpha can just kind of find these dry engagements and win out,
เฮ้ยบายกลับมาแล้วไอ้เหี้ยเพอร์สปิดออก
or anything like that.
yes
Somebody almost overstepping the mark on
ไป
Sentinel
ซะ
side. So
เหี้ยด่านต้น
maybe
ตีน
just trying to rein that in.
แล้วก็มีด่านใหม่เข้ามาอีกว่ะ
Certainly for Zek in the first
Ascent
half, you don't
by-
want to just sit back and receive
ที่
some
น่า
of
เล่น
these
นะ
side
แอสเซนต์บาย
execs.
โลตัส
And it does feel, I don't want to say like a coin flip between the two of them, but they have been going back and forth, right? Zekin's had his
pendulum swing,
moments.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, though, the value of Alpha getting that first pick
can
does
do that.
open the site. You saw how isolated then Zelsis was, and it was really hard to stall out. He did great though, slipping into
ใน
that
ทอม
smoke,
งูยัง
catching
โอ
a
มไม่
player.
ได้เข้าเล
Still
ยทอ
stalled
ม
out
งูเนี่ย
almost
เออ
enough
ฮา
for
เว่น
Bang
อีก
there, but
โอ้
not to
ย
be 3-1. Fnatic
เชื่อ
firmly
มีแต่
now
ด่านแจ่
starting to
ม
build
ๆ
a
ไอ้สัต
lead.
ว์
The operator is
You
in,
want
but
to play? Let's play.
Abi-
so is Tour de Force on the other side.
เราไหน
Zekken taking a look. Knife comes in, probably going to catch one there. I'd imagine that connected. As Zekken decides to rattle off a shot, but back away. That opens up gap for Fnatic.
Almost leaning towards a pace change on both sides, though, as soon as the Tour de Force is out.
Active fight
The
on towards
operators
Street.
here, yeah. Actually, they spam up to Kayak.
And it's done. Oh, Narrate! How are you diffing Kayak in that? He had to snap back to it already.
อุ้ยโด
You're
น
going to see this coming in to try and clear out, and it does. Hunter Fury
ตาย
does
ไป
well
เลย
to
ครับ
catch out Narrate, but they've made it hard work to play up Cat, a real
เก่งนะ
different
มึง
hold. They're
เก่ง
just
ก็ตาย
playing
ซะ
it forward
ไอ้
a
สัตว์
little in unison. No big opportunities for Alpha to bring in the ult either.
Trying to make something work here in range of the TP. But a pause for thought here from Fnatic.
แมปใหม่เปิดตัวที่มาสเตอร์นี้ อุ้ย
tagged down to
สวยเด้แม
47,
ป
so
แมปคนไทย
slight advantage.
วันรอบชิงแน่เลยฮะโชว์แมปใหม่ ชัวร์เลย
30
Alpha
seconds
once
left.
again curious. Does have the spike himself as well, so going to hope that Crashes can come and reinforce this, but it's second.
Spike down mid.
And look
Come
at the
out on top
time.
once
โอ้ยดู
more.
แคชชี่ดิแคชชี่สโล
The word melons is coming to mind. 10 seconds.
เวลา
Fnatic, yeah, they're getting closer, but Bang's still
10
here.
seconds left.
If he can deny the plant, that's everything. And Bang's currently getting curious.
เอ้าแล้วแบ่งไม่เลี้ยวขวาไปอ่ะเลี้ยวขวาได้ยิงกันน่ะ
Zelsis can't get there in time.
เพื่อนเลี้ยวซ้ายเฉย
And look how disconnected Kron is. This is so difficult
โอ้
for
เลิกคนนี้
Zelsis
ขึ้น
to clear out.
เหี้ยแม่งเล่นกันวิสุดท้ายครับ
Back in play as
อุ้ยเดิน
well.
มาเช็คไหมไม่เช็คหรอ
Second that
โอเค
Zelsis gets closer to site, if he gets contact. That
โอ้นี่ถ้าแบ่ง
checkmate
เลี้ยวขวา
of
ได้
Kron's
ยิงเลยเนี่ย
position
ดูดิ
surely comes in, and it's there. Lovely positioning. I thought they were too late then, Mike, but they are letting that clock run low.
Not many options to recover that on the side of Zelsis, but just a really bizarre exchange here. Towards sure, it's only really the Hunter's Fury that opens things up for Fnatic.
คนนี้เพื่อน
One enemy
เหี้ย
Almost
Oh,
second shows his
good.
hand with the operator. Able to deal with it. A couple of ultimates now online for Sentinels. Still got Kayak though. Tends to go, but actually a set piece out towards mid here.
Yeah, and look at the pressure coming out of B main too. It's kind of looked towards middle, but I promise you there's more of us here. And
Yeah.
there is. They're
เชี่
fighting
ย
again. Sen kick up the pace, and they rip apart Fnatic.
Yeah.
Boaster and Alpha.
แผนดัน
A
แผนบู๊
mountain to climb. Alpha rattles off the bullet. They now know where he is. Spike's in a dangerous position too. Alpha wants that back. Boast already trailblazing away. Alpha gets the spike, he gets away. Now where do they go? It feels like it
แม่ง
has
เอา
to
บอม
be
แล้ววิ่ง
towards
ตีน
A,
แตก
right?
ไปเลยครับ
Got all this pressure elsewhere. They're not going to walk short. Surely
Right?
not.
Oh my, no.
อุ้ย
Why
เดิ
is-
นกลาง
This
เหรอ
choice feels mad.
There's not going to be any
Playing Sen's
confirmation.
rotation.
but
ก็ไม่
yeah,
กล้า
for
พีคครับ
Sen, but this is certainly bold.
Oh my god, they might. I don't.
โอ้
They catch more than the timing. They catch second.
But do they read that as Sentinels have already rotated and now go back towards B? Zeus is still in a position to do damage.
He's thinking about it, isn't he, Alpha? And with
30
Zelda
seconds
still alive,
left.
you still got this wall in middle. He triggers it. Trying to
By
bait
A
it
เหรอ
out
งี้
to
จ
look
บ A
back
เหรอ
like a B, a double fake potentially.
จบ A
And a
งี้
late
โดน
look
Got the spike
up
as well.
cat.
โอ้เซลซิส
word.
โอ้ my
That was close.
โอ้ my เซล
Down
ซิส
close to smoke on
โอ้เล่น
CT.
วินาทีสุ
And
ด
Sen
ท้าย
have to react to it. They have
เอา
to
อีกแล้วครับ
respond to
พี่
it
น้
to
อง
some extent. But it is the play towards A now. Plants
เอา
be
อีก
coming
แล้วครั
down.
บ
Can Boaster and
ไอ้
Alpha
เหี้ยวินดับ
navigate
เบิล
this?
ด้วย
My ultimate is
เฮ้ย
Paranoia still there.
That's huge, actually. 5 seconds on the smoke as well for Boaster.
Door shut as well. Where's he off to? They don't know we do. Smoke gonna go in. Ult's popped. Alpha's out of it, but they're gonna flood the site now.
Chiphai
Sen
la,
looking to try and
Boaster
clear, trying to maybe catch Boaster in the meantime. Paranoia still in play. There it is, posted. Alpha, you got to come into this one. And he checks it. It's clear for now. They are
โอ้
but Alpha denying.
Oh,
Boaster
boy.
trying to live as long as he can.
โอ้
The man
โอ้ damn
marching up Fnatic
felt a little awkward there.
ไอ้
The
เหี้ย
paranoia
มาเจ
could
อ
have
ไอ้
connected
เหี้ยแม่ง
potentially onto Alpha.
แม่งเล่น
Not sure what
แช
the
มเบอร์ได้
range.
เล้าใจมากเลยว่ะ
What a recovery.
Player standing.
It takes everything from Alpha. 4 kills for
I
him.
would apologize to them.
And this pace change really from Sentinels. Actually, the second timeout coming through.
Boasters up, boasters up. You shouldn't be losing what 2v4s. Those are the ones that get you. Those are the ones that frustrate you.
They look beautiful initially for Sentinels. Like I said,
Yeah, boy,
pace
hang on,
change
guy.
really operators left on the table. Alpha's going to have
เหี้ย
it.
เขาเจอ
Let's take the
ขนาด
fight
นั้น
to
เลย
the
เหรอวะ
Love that.
And initially, a huge victory for them.
เฮ้ยดูตาไอ้นี่เดี๋ยวโหตา
Again,
ฟ้า
Zeltsis
สีเขียว
half a second longer, and he catches Boaster with the spike.
But also have to give credit to Boaster playing him like a fiddle.
Yeah.
Just setting off that wall
Yeah,
towards middle.
Boaster
The
ว่ะ
smoke
เฮ้ยไม่ใช่ Boaster
towards
Alpha
CT.
เจอ
All of these ideas that
เบส
are
แมป
going back
เขาเลยนะ
surely
ตอนนี้
they're
คือ
trying to hit this fake. It was a double
มัน
fake
เล่น
back
แชมเบอร์ได้เข้า
into
ข้อ
Dave.
มาก
Beautifully done. Manipulating the map
มึงเสร็จ
just
มันแน่ถ้ามัน
perfectly.
กดเข้าไปนะ
And a
แมปเนี้ย
5-1. There's a reason there's this double timeout.
อันนี้มองไปถึงไอบ็อกได้เลยนะเล่นดีเหลือเกิน
Would love to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, wouldn't you just? Hearing that.
Again, because that's when you watch the minimap back, and it's a round of seconds, millimeters almost. But a huge win for Fnatic to find their 5th. Sentinels now really a stinger and a sheriff for Zekken.
ต้องโหดแหละพี่คนไทยคนแรกในเกมเลยนะ
Hold for sure.
ดูดิ
Oh, they've been abusing Cat over and over again.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
And I quite like the occasion, you know, Narrate's been trying to play a little close towards tree, but then we had that Chron and
อันนี้มัน
Crashing
หาเรื่องโดนนี่ว้า
that just battered them. Sen finding it hard. They've been so close a couple of times.
มา
but
แล้ว
it's
ครับ
just
เข้า
not
แผ
quite
น
been
แล้ว
there.
เดินคู่แล้วก็วาร์ป
You can see that Fnatic getting that protocol list right. Early clear of the wall. Early clear of the thorns.
It's all
Going
ahead of
through it.
60 seconds left,
Yeah.
yeah.
Going through that checklist
บุ๋มน่าจะ
very
มองถึงหม
well.
อนเหรอ
Making those rotations sound
yo.
difficult. And Alpha gets let off the leash. Has a glance towards middle. Is
Got the
still
ult.
building towards A.
Say, oh, here for Kayak
ถ้า
as
มี
well.
คนอยู่
Drone
หนึ่ง
comes
คน
over,
กูก็
doesn't
อยู่เว้ย
confirm.
พอเริ่มสตรีมกูเริ่ม
Maybe
จากคน
Yusuf
เดียว
actually.
นั่นแหละ
Spam almost catching on John QT.
Oh, safety found in the
ไป
smoke
ถึง
there.
คนดูคน
Almost
เดียว
a
อ่ะ
second
Ủa,
of thought
em
for it.
tìm
Alpha's
đi.
gone right up the guts here.
Fnatic playing the entire map
There's a
on this
3-play
attacking
stack.
side.
There's still 3 players on this B site. So they've actually got the read right here. But you look at the weaponry, that's the hard part here. Sen getting the
Energy
tempo
พ
right,
ลัง
getting
อาจ
the
จะน้อย
read
ลง
right.
เรื่อยๆนะ
But with 25 seconds, it can go wrong. Fnatic could have left
คน
this
นั้น
too
คือ
late,
เหร
but
อ
let's find
น่า
out.
จะเป็นไอ้
24
นี่แหละ
seconds.
ซา
They
กุระ
got to
นี่
make
แห
a
ละ
play here. Storm coming in, and Crash is taking those brave first couple of steps. Good work from Zekken, good Storm. It's 17 seconds now. They got to get towards the back of the side. Poster makes a meal of it, but lands it in the end. Zekken again. 10
ชิบหายละ
seconds. Zekken is still on fire
โอ้
here.
โดนอีโคไอ้เหี้ย
Kayak is sweating bullets. This one's
Don't
over.
you call.
Heroics from Zekken doing the damage to Fnatic.
And gets the 4. I mean, Fnatic victims of their own success
ถ้า
here.
คนนั้นคือหน่วยกุ
Like I
ล
said,
ง
playing the entire map, but then playing right into Sentinel's hands. Or the hands of that man right there.
Scary player to get going, to get confident, to get feeling out this game. Look at these
10 seconds
shots.
left. One enemy remaining.
Good
And then you look at
God.
all that, and Bang's still there, just waiting.
That rock
Nice.
solid
Time,
player.
play time, boys. Play time.
The MasterCard Thrifty coming through. Beautiful highlight there for Zekken. But can they keep these reads up, right? They got to keep a grip on Fnatic, who are looking slippery.
Boaster down on the stinger now. Broken by
Retrieving flash.
for Fnatic. Second one away from the ultimate again, but John QT and the rate have theirs to invest. Still sitting on kayaks. Now Chronicle.
There.
Rip away the
Missile deployed.
advantage here in terms of the purchase for kayak. That's
อ้าฮะ
He runs down.
อู้
What?
Sorry, is Houdini in the server? Because that was just simply magic. How has he gotten 2 there? No right at all. Great knife timing on that one to connect, though. Gets at least denied to invest the ult. So now the plant's going to come
โอ้
in,
เมื่อ
but
กี้
they're
ไอ้
in a
เมื่อกี้น่าจะกดอัน
5v3.
ติแล้วเว้ย
Giving this up already.
ไอ้คนนี้ขึ้นน่ะ
Cancel, yeah.
มีดแม่งมาแคนเซิลไอ้เหี้ย
What
ทำ
the
ให้ไม่
hell
เสีย
was
อัน
that
ติ
from
ครับ
Kayak? Give me that on a replay,
I mean, the-
please.
โอ้โห
The first
ไม่เสียอันติ
mate.
ด้วย
Second.
โอ้โห ต้องขอบคุณมีด KO นะจากจอนนะ
Outrageous.
Show me it back.
โอ้โหไม่นั้นโดนเสียอันติฟรีไปอันหนึงนะ
You got to feel in a way for Sen. They can't get that
เขาไม่ใช้
momentum
เลย
on
อะ
their side, right? Yeah, a brilliant round from Zekken. Heroics from him. Right back, cool. Okay, Kayak's behind us and he's just gotten two.
Well,
All right.
especially now, if you're Kaplan, you got to just
Good
sit
job.
back and watch these rounds.
Yep.
It all rides on John QT
ถึงเวลามึงก็ไป
in
ไกล
the
เกิน
server.
ดีว่า
A flawless round 8 here for Fnatic.
Wow.
Maybe that's the turning point for them in terms of momentum and establishing themselves now with a 4-round lead. Certainly got the funds to support that.
Oh, he spotted his
Spots him in the smoke.
Over here. Launching missile.
That is absolute filth. That's Narrate as well, who's looked so sharp. I said coming alive in map 1.
Yeah, Kayak is an absolute gunner, apparently. Okay, we've got a couple of... So Kayak's been sat on his for a while now. We've been kind of keeping track of that. Kron's got his. He wanted it in that previous one, but actually the knife
ไอ้บ็อก
denied
เฟ
it,
น
and
ติก
then
เป็น
they
ไง
had
บ้าง
to
แต่
on the other side, though,
ล่า
Zekken
สุด
won
มันก็ดู
away.
ดีแหละ
John
ยัง
QT's
ช
got
นะ
his.
ต่อเนื่อง
Narrate's
มา
got
3
his.
มั้งแต่ว่า
Need
เซ
to
น
see
ติเนล
something
ไอ้บ็อก
around
แม่ง
this,
ก็
though.
เครียดภาพจำเซลซิตปีศาจนี่
Once again, respecting
One-
Fnatic to have
one
all of
day
this
they
mid
could.
control. Not much of a test towards this.
Yeah, Sentinels have not been dipping their toes in
No
the early round.
operator,
Yeah,
no challenge on
whatsoever.
it.
เซลซิต
Don't
แม่งของ
fancy
ดี
it.
จริง
You could argue maybe with Zekken now sitting on 3K.
Deeper wall.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, Fnatic were able to pull this
เฮ้ย
out
ไอ้ที่นี่ยังอยู่อีกเหรอเนี่ย
very
ที่
early
ดับ
on
ทอง
in the previous rounds.
My portal broke.
Oh god. Kayak again. You got another rabbit in the hat to pull out. No, pretty simple, but the timing's right for Bang. Takes away Alpha, trying to maybe scale into this and stalled out on shore.
จะอันติครับ
Uh-oh.
ต้องขอ
Can't run. Okay, they're good.
Chronicle ahead of this now with the spike. Actually, not going to be isolated.
Okay, this is nice though. This time around, do get to invest the ult here. So just those classics waiting, but I've heard something about those Sentinels classics. That makes me a little bit nervous here. And even Kayak investing util, they want to clear house. The Bang comes down.
Oh!
Outrageous stuff from Bang. He could be on for the ace. 8 HP in a dream. Celsius gets
เฮีย
the
แล้ว
job
แม่งมี
done.
ปืน
The
เร็วจังวะ
beauty from Bang there.
เฮียแบงว่ะ
The desperation to capitalize on Chronicle's ultimate is their downfall.
Seconds left.
Up against the ropes in hell. I mean, the flash is perfect. And
อ๋อแบงเล่น
again,
แม่
you
ง
can't
แม่ง
fault
แม่ง
the
แม่งไม่
first
ส
two
ลับ
swings here.
แม่งไม่สลับไอ้นี่เลยอ่ะ
Have what I
ไม่สลับปืนเลยครับ ก็ถือค้างเลย ก็
Just
เลย
when
ทำ
you
ให้
think
จังห
it
วะมัน
might
เร็ว
be the moment Fnatic stabilize here with the lead. Sentinels fight back. 3 still separate these teams.
Oh, I like this.
Like I said, yeah, with the funds in the previous. Zekken now on the operator, sorry.
But also that maybe they're willing to, I don't want to say challenge middle, but let's see how they maybe want to approach it. Kayak wants to test early. Okay. Second.
I was going to say,
What was the plan?
a really awkward.
Maybe some discomfort
Recall
on the
there.
agent. I don't
Hey.
know. That didn't seem like he went the way he wanted. So Narrate now.
Whoa.
เฮ้ยมันเห็นได้ไง
What's
อ่ะ
going on in
He
these
had two,
couple
though.
of moments here? Zekken, sorry, excuse me, Zelsis is still on this side. So they felt pressure in market and through main. This feels very indicative of this B hit, but we've seen how slippery Fnatic can be. Hesitation on rotation, but Bang closing the gap. He should be the checkmate here. Keep Zelsis steady.
กด
in
วาร์ปไว้
holding
ตรง
the
นั้น
side,
ใช่
but
แล้วมึงจะกดรีคอร์ทำไม รีคอร์เท่ากับตายเลย อย่างน้อย
still
กู
a
ว่า
wall behind here. TP
เดินกลับ
could
อ่ะ
be taken for
ยังมี
Bang
โอกาส
here.
รอดกว่ารี
Even
คอร์
another
อีก
4K. This is
เพราะมันคือ
ridiculous.
เป้า
Fnatic
นิ่ง
slow
เว้ย
and
ถ้าก
steady
ด
has
รี
been
คอร์
working, smothering Sentinels. The plant up next. Bang, I mean, he was a hero
Đồ
before,
lời.
but this, I don't think is in the wheelhouse today.
แม่งคิดว่าเล่นเจ็ตมั้ง อีจะแดด
Just
หนี
looking
เหรอ
for an exit. Again, maybe even retrieve the operator, but both are tucked into pizza.
And again, I come back to the start because I quite like the idea, kind of playing a little bit deeper initially, waiting for that early wave of util, and then maybe taking a glance. But it felt like maybe just a bit of discomfort on the agent for Zek, and it didn't look like, obviously, that was what he wanted. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Bang, if you survive, it ain't gonna happen. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, an early TP from Kayak and the clone. I think he knows he's got him back to rights.
Yeah. I see it.
Beautiful play up middle.
Ah.
And again, it's just the timing that it takes him to pull the operator. And actually, yeah, I mean, Kayak's on the angle so
อ๋อเห็น
It was just a
เห็นจริงด้วยเฮีย
ankle shown. That was enough for the shot from Narrate then.
One enemy remaining.
big round from Alpha
ก็
though,
ว่ามันอยู่ๆมันจะยิงทำไม
paving the way towards B side for Fnatic.
กดแฟร์ติกก่อนนอนไป
Again, look at
2K
that
มีหวังไหม
timeline. Last four,
แล้วมึงตื่นขึ้นมาใหม่เนี่ย
coming back and forth here.
Lovely matchup actually between these two. I'm liking it. And again, it's that whole idea of being better to be remembered for ambition and to be forgotten for obedience, playing their own way, bringing out new agents, as said on this way, like, be it a hit or a miss, fair play, you know, you can call it how you see it. This is the first half on the defending side. But then you look at Fnatic, of course, rewarded so far with this chamber adjustment, Chronicle as well on that Vice.
ฝันว่าโดนนะเด
Fnatic
แมปแรกเหรอ
in control in terms
แมป
of
แรกโดนสลืมสลือเลยเหรอ
drawing out the
มี
shield
มีอาการในเยี่ย
very
แมปแรก
early
มี
on,
อาการ
but Sentinels don't seem to respond to that. Don't spring into action.
กดเจนจีขยี้ชัยตื่นมากูขยี้ตาเลย
Try to dig their heels, and that
ไอ้
also
เหี้ย
hasn't
มึง
suited
ต้องไป
them.
ดูแบบสุดท้ายอ่ะแม่งนำแบบ
Other than,
11
Some
5
heroics
มั้
from
ง
Zekken here and there.
11 4 11 5
This is-
โดน
They're playing back Bowhouse.
13
30
11
seconds yet.
Oi!
Read it so well. Where are you meant to go? Zekken trying to buy him time with the ult coming in, but still Zelsis has to lean forward. Boaster takes him down. He was actually set into motion well. Narrate does a little bit of damage from CT.
เวลา
20
เวลา
seconds.
ดู
Starting to
Fnatic
bump
เล่นดิ
on time and already Bang going to take the quick TP
แม่ง
and
เอา
the
วิ
ult
สุดท้ายจ
invested
ริง
towards the back of sight. 15 seconds for Fnatic. Come on, you got to get towards the site here. Zelsis set up for success. Bang on the trade. Can't do enough. 7 seconds and a plant is wanted. Does Kayak get given that freedom? No, he does not. Narrate
เวลา
there.
น้อยอะเด็
Denying the plant and Fnatic leaving it way too late.
What's the setup here? 10, 15 seconds earlier. It's teed up for Fnatic, but once more, I dare to say it, victims of their own success. They have so much space to play into, so much freedom where they're almost second guessing themselves for some of these situations. Bang to spring the trap once more.
As the
3 on the round from the rate. Quiet half from him. You can hear Zelsis now
want to
trying to
play
rally the
going.
troops towards a 5th here to close out the first half.
Trying to ignite something. It's been a hard game to get that kind of momentum building. And it's something actually to keep that away from Sentinels. They are a team that never feel truly down and out no matter the scoreline, no matter the map, no matter the matchup. The way that Fnatic are playing this slow RVS ground has been hard to build momentum from. And again, Bang
Yeah,
getting
don't
caught
bother,
off there. Just
but-
that kind of 1v1 over on A main that was slowly building.
Yeah, it was a warbang as well, so that's just the edge of the
John
TP on the top of the boxes, but
หาหา
wait and
หา
see.
หาใหญ่
been having a
Yeah,
highlight
Hato.
game. Narrate, on the other hand, has been nice from John QT. Quick way to make up for what's not been a good affair yet. Can he do any more though? No, goes down with a lot of util as well. Cleared out by Boaster, besting the other IGL. And Kron in support, not letting them fight alone. Security
yeah.
found for the plant.
ตีห้าอยู่ไหมอยู่ครับอ
Just
ยู่
a formality
แต่ก็จะ
in
นั่ง
the
ดูอะครับ
pathing back for
ดูเลีย
Sentinels.
ต้าเฮ้ย
We going
โอเค
three?
ชื่อโคตรเท่
Do you have it in 2? Only 4 rounds to their name. It is a long path back.
แพงอยู่เนี่ย
We did see that
โอเคเดี๋ยว
face
สอง
off
อันนี้เดี๋ยวเปิด
initially
ไว้ก่อนเดี๋ยวเปิ
in
ด
the
ไว้ก่อน
first half between Zekken and
เปิด
Alpha.
ไว้ก่อน2อันนี้นะ
Certainly more so here in the second. Set piece going to come through for the Sentinel. Zekken up close and personal. Doesn't find any contact. But actually, Chronicle finds him.
Yeah, Kron having that corner uncontested was wild. It felt like they checked off every other part of the map. It was a very well crafted approach, but
อุ้ย
still,
สโมกมาโก
a bit of damage. And look at Narrate, 34 HP and tucks in towards help.
เหี้ยสโมกมาโก
Looks like Short is the way forward here. Slow and steady for Fnatic once again, waiting, and Sentinels tired.
Ow,
of it,
Tang,
trying to get
Tang.
involved, to get punished. Zelsis is the only one to make out with a positive trade.
โอ้อัลฟาเจอร์เพื่อน
Doing what he needs.
เฮ้ยอัลฟาเจอร์แชมเบอร์นี่มึงแม่งใช่แล้วว่ะ
Boaster and Prime.
แม่งหัน
Ice
ไป
here
หัน
is
มา
full,
แล้วดู
giving
แค
it
ชี่
large.
ยืนเนี่ยยืนเบ่งอ่ะ
There's a line there that I won't repeat. Maybe another day. So Chronicle just, yeah, no pressure whatsoever. Move the tip of the spear here and into a 4v4 ahead of the plant coming through. But Alpha
That was tasty.
connecting on the headshot here to seal the deal.
Nice shots, bro.
9th under their belt.
Nice shot bro
See if Sentinels can get anything going here to maybe flip round 2, but only classics.
I mean, this is starting to look like that Icebox third map is becoming a reality between these two. First map didn't feel as explosive as expected, but this is certainly a test. Be careful here. They are close by those classics.
แต่มันต้องไปลองไหม
Again, shot in the
กลัว
dark
แบบ
and
มัน
Alpha
จะไม่
is
พอดี
rewarded.
หรือขาด
Zek
หรือเกินอะไร
disrespecting
ยัง
it,
ไง
takes a
อะ
glance in and then dips out.
Peel away now, John QT, the only casualty.
แล้วมันก็หาง่ายด้วย
HP bar as well, down to 32.
John's been having a bit of a nightmare as well.
Yeah,
Rough
yeah.
game for him.
Able to really have a say in a lot of these rounds.
อู้เย็ดล่อเนี่ยดูนี่ดิ
See a fairly thankless roll on the
Yeah.
on the KO, but
เชียงเอาวับ
certainly expect a little more from him.
จูเลียต้า
He's timing on that smoke actually. See the paranoia.
Yeah, I was going to say inside the smoke. So
Here we go. Plant. Oh, he's so well controlled, but Sen digging in their heels this time. Hold on. Anything they can recover, any plant to be had would be perfect.
แบรนด์มันมี
So Narrate going to go for the plant and Zekken put on
30
guard
seconds.
duty. Aldron going to find the first and they look to flood. Zekken going to be trying to make this one happen here.
Hey,
Narrate by his side, going to spot the players do the dance. Oh, and it's so simple. Fnatic not really giving any room for Sen to get up to anything.
keep 2 rifles from this. We'll find the 10th. Ult charge wise, going to prioritize crashes on the Hunter's Fury.
แคชชี่ตะโกนน้ำลายเต็มจอขอกระดาษทิชชู่ครับแม่ขออนุญาตเช็ดแป๊บ
Maybe just go through the housekeeping.
Yeah, just polishing this one comfortably. 3 still alive. As I need a bit more fire with
เก่งจริงแชม
Sentinels.
เบอร์แบบ
But
นี้
there's
ของ
just
อัลฟาเจอร์ครับ
a bit of a
แม่ง
whip.
ใช้พลังแชมเบอร์ได้คุ้มค่ามาก
Now's the time to make a stand. Long road back into the second
น้ำฟรี
half
ฮะ
with
โลทัส
Fnatic
ของดี
kicking things off with 2. They're even actually riding this out now with a Bucky and a Sheriff. Boaster back on one of his trademarks of old.
Yep. A vintage look coming back in.
Again, Fnatic rounds to play with almost, so expect them to ride the economy out. Maybe looking to actually get an operator on the board nice and early.
This is scary though. Jump spot top middle. And now Paranoia comes in. And Alpha's
man,
really
make up,
got
man,
such
do.
confidence. Smoke was still in play and he knows that now.
โอ้อัลฟาเจอร์
Zelsis was
โอ้ย
filthy.
มันดื้อจังวะ
Still gonna get his man. I thought it was Zekken on the
คือมึง
chopping
ต้อง
block, but
ตาย
he
ใช่ไหม
gets
มึ
to
งถึง
live.
The
จะกลับ
second recall
แม่งโดนแฟดแม่งยังไม่กลับ
being pinged by the dart
แม่ง
there.
รุ่นไหนวะเนี่ยไอ้
See,
เหี้ย
it
เนี่ย
was almost a surprise to see somebody swing out from the position. The 1-for-1 trade now. Damage done to Alpha and Crashies. Argue a slight advantage.
พร้อมแบบนี้เซน
It's an
คือแบบ
opportunity, isn't it? It feels like they've been
อ่อนเกิน
lacking those.
เวเลนี่ไม่ได้เลยแล้วมาเทโฮอีกโอ้โหเทโฮเฮอร์นันเดสเลยอะตอนเนี้ย
Boaster, who now has the
หนั
Bulldog
กหนัก
instead.
ครับไอ้
Time is
เหี้ย
going
หน้า
to
ขาย
be,
บ้าน
I'm
ล
going to
ง
say
ไอ้
late,
สัตว์แบบ
but it's
เนี้ย
going to be short.
ถ้ารู้ว่ามันจะเล่น
Very
คอม
tight if they don't make a move.
Look at this
The
walk down
Chronicles
mid.
already.
กูกดบ้านแล้ว4 หลังไอ้เหี้ย
Launching
Nothing
missile.
behind them. Yeah, this is going to get deadly because this flank is going to be fast as well. They need to get through side. They still need to clear back boathouse, and they're not investing utility. Want to keep this quiet. Poster, can you buy the time? Zekken does well. Takes away players from CT. Now Poster forced to fight, but the flank comes in. 2 players. Front strike down cat. Nice damage, but not a nice job. 6
โอ้ยเจออะไรอ่ะ
Sentinels
เจ
down
อ
to the wire, but clinging on.
A ton of damage done. Fnatic
Oh,
frugal in the
yeah.
purchase here, so it feels like the best of a bad
เจอเหม็นขี้
situation.
ไม่รู้อ่ะเมื่อกี้
Second, the one to
10
make this a
seconds
little
left.
harder.
One enemy
Fnatic.
remaining.
It's Narrate with another 3-piece.
Beautiful.
ตอนนี้อยากได้2
Said
คู่
the
ทิมเบอร์แลนด์
purchase
กั
in
บ
the previous
ไอเช
now
ลซี
to
บูธนี่
find
แห
an
ละ
operator in the hands of
แม่
Alpha.
ง แม่งวัยรุ่นใส่เยอะดิเฟี้ยวเลย
See if we can put this to work. He's been present time and time again here in B main and hasn't
ไม่
really
อยาก
had
ใส่สนิเกอร์แล้วอยากไปยัน
big ping at Zeki. Got to be careful. Oh, but he finds Kayak.
How's it gone that way? Do they speed up off this, or how do they want to play it? There's a little bit of a question mark around that. Maybe push out on B potentially because the wall got
ถ้า
cleared.
จะ
So
ดู
they
เชลซีต้องดูที่ส้นเหรอ
looks like they really want to
แต่
continue
ส่วนตัว
towards A.
ดู
But
ที่
one's
หัว
been solid
กลัว
too.
หัวแหลมมันไม่ค่อยชอบ
Second taking space away towards Tree. Both to come in on bite.
เคยไปลองของไอ้เนี่ย
That paranoia if Quad needs it, and I think he does
YSL.
now. Yeah, they didn't even check for it. Narrate still doing damage. Bang on good
นึกว่าอยู่ใน
layering
ฮอก
here.
วอตส์ไอ้เหี้ย
Nice
ใส่ไป
scaling up towards the site, and
กู
the
แทบ
spike
จะไล่
should
ม
be
นต์ได้
clean
แหลม
now.
เปียบมาเลย
Spike
She's
planted.
still got plenty of util. One of the Hunter's Fury, so
เกือบ
Celsius.
80,000
Last player
Celsius.
standing.
You
กู
couldn't
เหยียบ
get
ไม่ล
better
งจริงว่ะ
positioning in that. The
รอง
timing,
เท้า
it's
เกือบ
not a rough
80,000
alpha. That is too valuable of a possession. You want
เหมือน
that
เหยียบเงิน
operator for
80,000
late
แม่
game.
and a big round actually to keep 4 alive.
โคตรแพง
The Sentinels to build
ไอ้
back
เหี้ยแพง
in.
สัตว์แค่ไปลองเฉยๆอยากลอง
Actually trying to
ว่าแบบ
remove that advantage. Don't want to
ข
see
อง
another one
เฟี้ยว
given
ๆมัน
away
เป็นยังไง
here.
วะซึ่งไม่ถูกใจนะเอาจริงราคาแม่ง
They got to this quick.
ถือต่อให้ราคา
You
มัน
have to
แบบ
keep this one.
ต่อให้มันสวย
No one else through CT side. You can see
80,000
where they
แม่งก็
are,
ไม่
but
ใช่
I
อะ
think they're going to pause
อันนี้
now.
แม่งไม่สวย 80,000 เข้าไปอีก
Will be kind of
ง่ายเลย
leaving it where
มัน
it
ไม่ใช่สเป
is.
คเราอะหัวมันแหลมอะ
But again, starting to see a little bit more life in Sentinels, Mike. There's a build here. The fact that Zekken got that kill on Kayak still feels ridiculous.
Span back as well. This is
เอางี้
Kayak
กู
got
ไปซื้อรอง
Phantom as well.
กูไปซื้อ
No traces to
คือ
even
ตอนนั้นหน้ามืดตามัว
aim that from Zekken.
เห็นนิกกี้นัชชัดใส่รองเท้าแตะดีออ
Here's Sen.
One enemy remaining.
Have to
บิน
commit
เลยไป
towards this side
จัด
as
มา
well.
บ้างโหไอ้เหี้ยหน้ามืดตามัว
Utility,
ไม่
but
กล้าใส่เลย
certainly
ครับ
knowing when they
โอ้
have
โหมัน
to dial up the
เกือบ
pressure.
30,000เหมือนกัน
All right, well,
รองเท้าแตะ
this is now looking like a
Yeah.
big round as well in my mind. As much as the purchase is low for Fnatic,
ดีออ
I need Sen to look clean on this.
And it's actually the
เป็น
next
ลมไป
that's
เหี้ยตื้อไป
going to be crucial in terms of stringing together this comeback.
ก็คือไม่ได้ใส่เลย
Tour
คู่
de
นั้นไม่
force,
ค่อยได้ใส่เลยกลั
potentially
ว
still an operator.
ซื้อมา
But
เก็บ
Alpha is here.
ซึ่ง
Alpha
เก็บ
scares
ไป
the
แล้ว
life
ราคา
out of
ต
me
ก
in
เดี๋ยว
these
มันก็กรอบเดี๋ยว
scenarios.
มันก็
But
พั
he
ง
does. How did that not land? Zekken.
ชูเกลลี่เอ้ยชื่อนี้เหมือนเคยได้
Oh,
ยิ
the
นเยอะ
second time of asking. Alpha goes back in for it. And Alpha decides, screw it. A pop with the ult. Holds his ground, stands as long as he could, but he goes down. Sentinels now flooding towards the site. Still have mid control, but still 2 to clear on the site itself. The rate's got off. They've got options here. The buy now looking a little less lethal at this point.
พอแล้วสาม
Slow
แบน
the
เดี๋ยวเลือก
tempo,
กันไม่
Mike.
ถูก
They want to get a grip on this.
เดี๋ยวไปลองไอ้นี่ดีกว่ามาร์ค
Bucky and
กับ
Stinger
เป็น
to
เซอร์
work
อะไร
with.
เงี้ยแฟ
Sheriffs
ชั่นมันอยู่ใกล้
to complement it,
มัน
but
มีเซนทรัล
Easy head. Stand ground.
Utility perfectly placed here. A chance for Sentinel to sweep through sight, but the crossfire doesn't hit him. No, that's to nothing.
เฟนาติกจะเอาแล้วเฟนาติกจะเอาแล้ว
And Kayak just got out of the round. John QT needs the help maybe in the end, but he gets it.
This is absolutely huge though because it draws out the tour de force.
Yes.
2 massive tools to offset potentially a lesser purchase, which is on the brink here
เฟ
for
นาติกมัน
Fnatic.
จะเอาแล้วครับทุกคน
Oh,
I mean, again though, there's nobody swinging into bottom mid here
yeah.
from Sentinels. I mean, Zekken's up close, but
One enemy.
no
Could you
clearance
imagine?
to these close angles.
Can you imagine if that went the other way? That one shot, look how close that was. Even Alpha's like, how? But still, just... If that had gone the other way, who knows? But it's given a build back here for Sentinels. 7 to 10 now. Fnatic wanting this timeout and needing it now.
For sure, and I think Milan just looking to rein the boys in a little bit. Probably getting a little nervous now. You'd argue the hard work's already done considering the pistol and the second went to Fnatic here in the second half. Like I said, we're on a knife edge now in terms of the economy. Got the Hunter's Fury, Chronicle with his as well. Kayak 2 away. Certainly for Sentinels now in a pretty comfortable position with basically 4 players at 4K and above. Second with his ultimate as well. Certainly
แม่เจอแต่ละดอก
be awkward here if Fnatic will concede. Have to ride a lower purchase.
tense round now. You're looking at Kron, you're looking at Crashies as well. Those ults are here. Zekin's got his. What's the early approach? Sentinels eyeing up B. Big commitment. Zekin takes a walk first. Has a look. No one up close. Knife not going to find much. This time the fighting kayak quickly handles Zekin. That looked all too easy. And Sentinel sent back.
Launching thorns.
Right down to 15 HP, but Sentinel's not really to find a response or a trade there, with Zekin just trying to make use of some aggression through B main. Back to the drawing board now for Sentinels. Question marks across the map for them. Have a trip as well on Alpha with a very deep position, actually tucked into hell. Imagine the TP to get him up out of danger as well.
Cover going out.
We'll go up and bait out some of this utility. Well, he's deal with the trap, but there's layers to this from Fnatic.
30 seconds left.
Now actually the clock. We'll apply further pressure now, and actually confirmation here of presence in B main.
Okay, bang. And look at the time though, we're down to 10 seconds. Kron just turreting about, and they've got to try and power forward. Kayak's still alive. Yeah, he's down to 15, but his presence alone is a problem. Sen looked lost without a plan in that.
Losing Zekin early on. I said this was a huge opportunity for Sentinels to really apply pressure. Let this pass them by. Beautiful opener from Kayak. And I said able to dip away, deny that trade. I said Sentinels just kind of hoping that somebody from Fnatic would play into their hands.
Good job, boys. Nice round, boys.
There's desperation towards B.
แม่งพูดยังไงแม่งก็สำเนียงฝรั่งรัสเซียมาอยู่นะ
Don't miss me too much.
And this time around, the adjustments through middle, right? There was similar drone before, but now look at Kai's position though. Playing deeper in towards B main, but pace change coming out. Pressure towards market. Crashes up to the test though, takes away John. Kron on the follow-up, and Sen falling short when it looked to just matter most. Bang right back into it though. 2 big kills and it's still game on. Flooding through B main. Trying to get this plant in motion. John's gone down here in the end. No one able to retrieve him in this situation. 3v3 post-plant now.
Very early flank coming through now. Crashies does have the Hunter Fury as well.
อุ้ยแม่งวาร์ปไปนู่น
Gets
เล
all the
ย
way back out.
Oh my
I
god.
was going to say, was he going to try and backstab
เอ้า
Spawn there?
นี่ไง
Both
วาร์ป
scores
เยอะ
Zelsis on the back
วาร์ป
pedal.
เยอะ
Look at that position
เจอบอส
right
เตอร์
up
ที่
on
สูง
top.
ไปดิ
They had no idea. The paranoia not going to affect him either. I can send this right back to him. Bang now blind. He was the hero who got them the 2 that made this look doable. Narrate still standing, the king of the 3Ks, 4Ks hell, but he's fallen.
โอ้วอเตอร์ที่สูงไอ้เหี้ยโคตรแหลมอ่ะ
Looking for the defuse, they've
ไอ้
got
เหี้ย
this
วอเตอ
one.
ร์
And
เอาเรื่องเว้ยเพื่อน
Sentinel's looking quiet here now.
เอาแล้ว
Map
แม่งข่มกัน
point
เละเทะ
now
เลย
for
เว้ย
Fnatic. Purchase going to be a little shaky on the side of Sentinels. Crash is just
ได้เวลาหน้า
timing this
เขียว
to
แล้ว
perfection. It's Chronicle to complement that as well. So, yeah, most are over the top.
Enemy
Crucial kill.
Totally unaware of that possibility. 12 to 7.
Nice! Come on then, where you running, bro? Where you running?
Here we are. Icebox looking more and more likely. Sentinels hitting a brick wall that they can't seem to get above, around, or through. Zekin not given much play in middle this time. Kron and Crashies have been good at this. Till then, corner takes a glance, but doesn't fancy it.
This is now looking to re-explore towards this utility that late round course problems got with Boaster. He's found one blind.
Oh, the timing is outrageous on this too. Ult goes in, they're still trying to power forward, but Crashy's going to take down John QT again. But that's Shorty waiting! Perfectly placed! And now Sentinel scrambling! Zelsis and Bang have to come together to save the day! Well, Fnatic are taking us the distance! The third map looking so likely! Bang's been great, but Fnatic Fnatic have been better. We're going to Icebox.
Turn really to old school Icebox in that regard. Yeah, all eyes towards Kayak to hopefully put something in motion here for Fnatic on the decider.
I'm glad the Des mentioned it as well. Narrate, the man on the screen, he has been influential to Sentinel's success. And respect given so far by Boaster. Doesn't want to stick around too close and give up too much. This is an all-in, Mike. This is every player from Sen over this side.
แม่งเปลี่ยนพร้อมไม่ทราบ
Come through. Oh, actually, Alpha finding one ahead of time. John QT will fall. Narrate will respond.
Okay, Alpha does have the Sheriff and so does Kayak. So these are two big hitters. Same to be said for Zelsis though. Two players towards back yellow, two towards B long. How are they going to cross up to this one? Narrate still got Dizzy to invest if the contact comes in. Bang, waiting to swing on yellow. Now joined again towards long on this for the other three. Shock Dart not going to be all that much of an issue. Paranoia gets burned, and that is a lovely flash as well. Nice from Sen so far. It's only Alpha to be drawing blood. Oh my god, Alpha. He tried it. He gave it a go. But Sentinel standing strong here in map 3.
Convincing pistol round here. He said, respect shown from Boaster, allowing conceding all that space. Allowing the free plant to come through. Faith in the retake. Actually a beautiful opener here from Alpha. From down range.
And I'm going to keep my eyes on this throughout this game, at least on this half. If Sen keep getting to post plants, right, if they get that, there's so much util for later on, you need Kron alive. You need that wall still in play, right? And he was one of the first.
He's the safety for that defuse, for sure.
I'm going to have to wait and see. For now, not really a big factor in this sort of round. You're looking at Sentinels keeping this clean here. Want to keep those Bulldogs up. That's 3 of them there. The Stinger could be lost potentially, as could that Sheriff, but those Bulldogs are prized possessions and Narrate, allowing them to scale up off the back of the utility. But there's a lot of bodies now on this side of the map, Mike.
We're looking for something cheeky.
สดชื่
Brings
น
up a peak
พร้อม
here
นอ
for
น
Sentinels.
สดชื่นพร้อมนอนครับ
Boaster
ผม
already very low actually in the X-ray.
Boaster slipped pretty deep in this. Now Alpha's found a shot on Narrate. It's not over. Smoke still in hand. Viper util on top, going to slow this down. And Bang getting curious. Catches Boaster, clears it out. This is good. This is really good. Sen not feeling any of that pressure, apart from Alpha, who is firing here, by the way. Apparently that Ascent map gets him confident.
Absolute monster on Icebox.
But these are the 3 valuable weapons. They can't afford to lose these.
He's going to be given a chance here. John QT still curious, but I don't think he will yet. Won't catch sight of anybody on the retreat. Will fall to the spike and Sentinels go 2-0 up to kick things off here on the decider. Implanting the seeds here towards B. Early on, important to show presence on this side of the map.
Something else I'm noting is the fact that Narrate's got that ult so early on.
Yeah, very early on.
Huge for the bonus, right? If they want to try and employ that now, potentially, that could snowball this entire map, or at least this half. I wonder if they try and indicate a similar approach. This time around, you do have Kayak here, though. It's only been Boaster really soloing this so far.
He's on an Odin. Let's try and hold down the fort here at B main.
เอ้ยมันเอาโอดินมาทำอะไรวะเพื่อน
Kayak catches a glimpse, but
ทะลุอะไรเหรอ
doesn't want to reveal himself
เบรก
just
แพนเหรอ
yet.
สแปมเหรอ
Certainly unorthodox here, and you mentioned it. Here's the ultimate to hopefully
Ui,
pave the
yang
way
ini
for
eng.
Sentinels, but very quickly handled.
They're not bad at all,
Ama
actually. So
thaming ini
Fnatic is
eng
going to
ครับ
backpedal away.
เบรกตะ
Sit
นอน
towards backside, allow for the rotations to come in. So a good stall out here between the Odin and Kayak's presence. And dealing with that ult, yes,
Whoa.
it can be picked up. It's done well, and it has been. Back into hand now, it looks like. Kayak still waiting. Could potentially do some damage if they go for a plant here. You can see that come in, and it is down. But Alpha strides in again, this time bigger weaponry. 2 tucked on site though, and that's a surprise. Kayak falls, and Sen still holding a lot of ground here. No trades at all.
ชิบหายแล้ว
It's
รีเทค
really
ไม่ได้
only
ครับ
been Alpha drawing blood. Where's the rest of Fnatic
เฮ้ย
in this?
โบสของดี
Gotta
นี่
do
หว่า
something to clear these 2 players off site. No flashes and Bang, unwilling to be moved, and they don't know about John QT down here. Oh, it's
Oh,
stunning
my.
from Sentinels. A perfect play in the bonus round.
huge conversion for them. Not sure if Narrate did manage to find an upgrade there, but regardless, they have a massive advantage coming into round 4. Only real positive so far. I mean, Kayak almost caught completely off guard by the idea of anybody tucking themselves into sight here. Pretty snappy on those 2 kills. As I was saying, the only real positives here, Chronicle and Alpha, good progress towards their ultimates, but
ไม่ดีละถ้าไอ้นี่มันยืนอย่างเงี้ยไม่ดีละ
only really pin things on a blade storm potentially.
มันกลายร่างแล้วครับ
It's just
เดี๋ยว
not
สิ
there.
Now and again, you can see that the
มองไป
momentum
ที่
fully swinging
Sentinel ได้เลย
towards Sen's favor. But I
เดี๋ยว
like
ซิ
this
ดกลายร่าง
move coming out from Fnatic, herding Sen closer, but there's not much to deny them over on that A site. Oh, Kron. Okay, catching John QT. This does split them up a bit, makes it a little bit trickier.
เดี๋ยวโดนลุมกระ
But
ทืบไป
still, it is only pistols. Sheriffs, yes. And they are heading towards that A site. And Crashies, potentially Alpha, do damage here. Alpha's position now going to be known. Cross to be made. Nice shot on the first, but Crashies gets cleared at the same time, Mike. This is looking pretty comfortable. But that back line, if they wanted the
แม่ง
traditional
มีแฟน
post plant,
ปัญ
won't
หา
be able to be
คน
had.
นี้ขึ้น
Safe
โดน
farm
เลย
though. We'll see awareness of the threat here. Rifle in the hands of Kayak though. It's going to be mitigated by Sen's positioning. And it really banged. Whew. Weapon ball actually coming to the Kayak. Gets a second shot at it and converts.
ผมจังหวะเพื่อน
Okay, paranoia with Zekken has to be big here, but no real ability to swing off it, and Zelsis has to go clutch. A 1v2 and Kayak on the case.
Yep.
Kron, he's already invested that
ทิป
wall.
หาย
Yeah,
โดน
Zelsis
ทิป
knows it
ตี้
now.
ครับ
That time is not on his side.
Oh
He
no,
can't do
oh
a thing
no,
about
oh
it.
no,
But
Sentinel
Mastercard thrifty.
โดนเบรกความร้อนแรงนิดนึงฮะ
Sentinels.
ไม่เป็นไร
Yeah,
ครับ
Zelsis
ฆ่า
still
ได้ก็ไม่
clearing
ใช่
up,
ปัญ
but
หา
around
ครับ
is Fanatics.
เพราะว่าเฟอร์ติกอีโคมาอยู่แล้วเราหน้ามีปืน
Sentinel's early work here to try and draw
Oh
an
no,
extra
oh
body
no
across the map here.
เป็น
Maybe
นับหนึ่ง
open
มาก
up a site a little easier. Get everything right on the way in, but just can't stick the landing here.
Thrifty.
And the wall deciding things for Fnatic. Talking about that early on progress, Alpha and Chronicle now bring theirs into round
ข
5.
จักขจัก
And the other thing Fnatic bring is an operator for Kayak. It's in a 1 and
Nice
4.
for this.
ขจักเล่นสไนเป็นปะวะ ไม่ค่อยเห็น
Something-
Line though.
Whether or not anybody's actually going to be expecting this, the awareness there.
I do like this.
I mean, the smoke definitely
Yeah.
shows awareness.
Feels like it, right? But how do they path up to
โอ้
this
โห
again?
แม่ง
All
เก็บ
these
ออฟ
audio
ลูกน้องไป
cues,
อีก
man. He's got to be chomping at the bit. Oh, that's
Would have been
going to
given a
fade
shot
though.
there.
It does get to a bit of a 50-50 here. He knows he's in danger, and yeah, right timing
โอ้
back
โห
away
เล่น
doesn't
ไม่
get
ได้ครั
punished.
บขจัก
Making Sentinels burn a little bit more of that
ไอ้เหี้ย
utility
โดน
to
ของ
scale
ไล่อะ
up.
ดิ
Has to force himself on a deeper line now.
Elsa's still trying to backstab something on A site as well, but
Ooh,
keep our eyes on the action here. On
that's brave.
actually just dealing with the
Then yeah,
utilities
by
drawn the rotation. Look at the minimap. Boaster hangs about in Snowman, but it's drawn a massive rotation out.
Yeah, the fact that Boaster was able to get kind of back up towards yellow and felt
เอ้า
no
แล้วมาเจอกันที่
pressure.
A
Check in behind that wall.
Here.
Gives them a bit more freedom.
30
They have to almost
seconds
reset. Yeah, they can try and re-approach this like a fake, but Boaster can still check behind it. He knows there's no one here. He can keep his players close towards this A site.
Placing swamp grenade.
There's that lockdown, lovely
อุ้ย
timing.
เกือบ
Look at this,
เกือบปักไม่
16
ทัน
seconds.
Yeah.
They've got to make a move on it. And Kayak
ชิบหาย
watching,
ละฝั่งนู้น
perfectly poised above for 10 seconds.
โอ้โหแม่งทำลาย
There's
แตก
not
เหรอ
much to be
โอ้
done.
โห
Lockdown does go down and the plant is in. Sen just about salvaging this round as the four players close by from Fnatic now flood back in, making 5. Great flash. John on the swing. Kayak still
ดีครับ
firing though, down to 3 for Sentinels.
อุ้ย
but
โห
John
ด
QT unwilling to move from the site, resilient till the end. Rez comes
Whoa.
out. John doing it perfectly
Whoa.
from the site itself. Now Zekken and Narrate will try and hold on to this. Kayak barely alive, goes down. Kron falls, that's the defuse gone. Just on crashes. 1v1. And time is ticking. Narrate just has to play to the tune of the clock. I think it's too far gone, surely. Again, similar
Oh,
scenes to before. Sentinels in the final seconds, holding on.
Ice cold again from Narrate to run down the clock here. Fnatic beginning to sweat a little bit. Big
เฮียจอนแม่ง
investment
บ้าจัด
for the lockdown. The res comes through as well. Some tools they'd worked towards early on, but John QT just running rings around Fnatic here.
One enemy remaining.
In the wall going up, but providing no safety whatsoever.
Let's go, Marshall.
เฮียจอนเอาแล้วคาชี่โมโหแล้วคาชี่โมโหแล้ว
Force an early timeout here for Fnatic once more. Forced to reconsider their approach potentially now. Back down on just pistols. This time around, Blade Storm in hand though, something to offset that slightly. Got the Hunter's Fury as well, but Sentinels off to a flying start here. They're attacking side of Icebox.
And we haven't seen John QT have this level of impact in the previous maps. He's been quiet. He's been doing his job. He leads.
Again, a thankless task to be on this role.
It certainly is. But to see him getting that fire going now is huge for them. That could be a big difference maker here. Again, got to see someone pick that up, and he absolutely has. And overall, the read's been right from Sentinels. This has caused this timeout from Fnatic. They need bigger planned solutions. That pressure early on B has been hard to get reads behind. I liked what Boaster did there to check behind it. Then almost second guessing of maybe Narrate's utility coming back in. It's been a lovely game.
They're almost anticipating that that's the plant coming through. You can see still questioning that. So crucial work from Boaster, but unfortunately, coming apart the seams.
ไม่จบใช่ไหมกัมพูชา
A
เอา
few
ใช่ไหม
seconds of that round. People here of the orb. Blade Storm pop, but negated early on in the round.
There's 3 players pinged on the knife too, so big info, even in a round like this. You can see the instantaneous rotate from Kayak, maybe trying to offset the expectations after being identified early on the knife. But Sentinels still going to be taking their pathing towards this A side of the map. Alpha taking a glance down middle, seeing no one on the cross, and it is going to be this A side here. Sentinels now, they can scale up well, keep it clean. Crashies does have the Sheriff, but Chronicle's already been cleared. Easy work for them on the site. The plant next on the cards. This is, as said, concise work. Celsius could be in a bother. There's Kayak now coming around. Contact swing, it's nice. Good synergy between the 2 players there. Bang next potentially in line. Does have the help from Zekin if required. Oh! No help needed apparently on that one.
เวลาครับเวลาน้อยนะบอกก่อน
Where's that counterbalance of the pressure from CT? There it is! Crashies catching John QT. Now Zekin and Narrate split in this, trying to fight it forward. Narrate finds a corner to play from the Kayak. Delivering! Beautiful from Fnatic against the odds again.
That's a Blade Storm to carve out this round.
ฮัลโหล2ราวได้มาจากทิปตี้หมดนะ
Fnatic find their second. Strip away any of that comfort Sentinels were trying to establish. Actually humbling the economy.
2ราวของ Fnatic นี่อีโคทั้งนั้นเลย
Bait and switch perfect between Alpha and Kayak, and continues further, finds 3 on the round.
Remaining.
Massive value in a Thrifty.
Nice.
เฮ้ยใจเย็นโบ๊ทใจเย็น
Bit more energy on
มัน
stage
ยัง
as
นำ
well.
มึงอยู่เลย
They need that
Much
too.
needed.
มันยังนำมึงอยู่เลยโบ๊ทเอ้าแล้วมันโจนเลยเอ้าเต็มที่น้อย
Quiet now. Again, Sen hometown favorites pretty much at this point, right? Regional on their side, but actually Crash's blind connection gets to Rain. That's a huge scalp to claim, and straight through him he tries to dash. Boaster body blocking him out on towards Zekin as well. This is getting rough around the edges. Sen not having the same sort of success on the starts this time.
Very difficult to recover anything here. John QT down to 20 HP. Stinger,
นี่เอา
2
คุณเล็กเลยนะ
sheriffs.
ดึงไหนวะ
Sentinels to pin their hopes to here in round 7. They want to do what Fnatic just did. Layering of util.
สุยยุโรปเหรอไอ้เหี้ยมีสุยเอเชียสุยยุโรป
Kind of difficult now,
Yeah, I
isn't
was going to say that information
แต่สุย
could
เอ
be
เชี
key
ย
to Sentinels, but still,
กล้ามเบลเลอร์เลยนะ
Kayak eyes trained. Chronicle just on guard as well on the front line.
แม่งเอาใบเสพขู่ไอ้เหี้ย
deep enough to dissuade Kayak, but feels very indicative still of this pathing towards the B site, right?
30 seconds
Kron
left.
getting curious. Spots out one, there's more. And yeah, he's following them up now. Fnatic keeping 5 standing. A valuable timeout for them just had a moment ago, getting them back on the same page.
ทำไมถึงมองว่าเฟอร์นาติก
Off rip with the Hunter's Fury.
What?
I'm sure if it was the snake bite or actually all he had
กู
snake
มอง
bite.
ว่าไอ้ฝั่งนี้ก็รับโหดเหมือนกันนะ
Just squishy as
มันไม่มี
any.
ดิวอลิสนะเว้ย มันทำให้เกมรับแม่ง
Seconds left.
Away and again,
Nah, you know.
it's a risk-free approach
มัน
to
ไอ้ฝั่งเซนน่ะบุกลำบากเพราะไม่มีดิวอลิสแบบ
Sure, you could argue
คอย
it's a big
ทำจังหวะ
ultimate
ที่แบบ
to draw out, but
ยึดพื้นที่อะไรอย่างเงี้ย แต่ถ้ามันกันมันไม่ยังเป็นต้องยึด
round
พื้นที่
conversions here for Fnatic to
อย่างจะเอาเยนโล่อย่างเงี้ยลำบากมากเลยนะเซนติเนลอ่ะ
call
แต่
the
จะยึด
timeout
เหลืองอ่ะ
themselves.
ปกติก็จะมีส่งของ
Yeah,
ให้
look at
เซนติเนล
Sen
ส่งให้ดูลิสวิ่งไป
Do
แดบ
have
ไป
4 ults all to play. So if they have maybe something they want to run here, a set play in mind with these
Well,
ults,
man,
might
that's
they
a
certainly do it. But also they need that ethos check-in, right? Maybe a little bit of a change up
มา
here.
คูนะ
Potentially, here's
ไอ้
something
เซ
now
นติเนล
going to be used on the anti-eco. So
Very true.
maybe look toward the set piece. Obviously, the easier one in that regard. But plenty of tools. Obviously, the age-old lockdown to a pit. Now, actually, the operator. Curious to see how Kayak does approach some of these days. Back on the board, struggled early on, but
Yeah.
certainly with the 3K on the blade storm, be feeling himself.
Well, it'd be good to get that momentum building back for themselves too. There's a drought of rounds, right? That conversion, when you're looking at the bonus, can really knock you for 6. That can take that confidence out just straight away. And Sen would have been grinning about that one. They were up out of their chairs early. You saw it very quickly how much impact Narrate was having. John QT doing really well. Now Fnatic showing signs of life. 3-4. Timeout called from Sen. But plenty of cards to play now.
Might even be a mid-piece here. With 3 players stacked up onto this barrier. Not necessarily seen any presence shown just yet, and Zekken not necessarily struggling, but a slow start here on Icebox on the Omen. Just with the turret early on, so just forcing the adjustment. Can't sit back on that util. Will draw the eyes of both Boaster and Alpha. Kayak tucked in with the operator here.
Maybe a nicer line to work off if that Dizzy is coming in. He can at least kind of duck into a bit of cover, maybe not give away the position.
You know, almost with this setup anticipating the lockdown to be used.
โอ้เกือบตาย2ครับเกือบตาย2ครับเฮ้ย
Catch there as well.
ขึ้นมาได้ไงวะ
Save him, no one's nearby. Oh my good god, if someone hunts this. They're not close enough to catch him. Respect having to be given by the lockdown layered. So a reset here, but a man to the good Fnatic. The post plant strong though. Zekken's HP is a factor. Only on 3 at this point. But they're playing on site here. They're not backing away.
เฮ้ย
We concede this space, obviously, with the wall being a factor in the retake.
โฆษณาก็เยอะหมุนก็หมุน
Actually, no progress made.
ทุกอย่างนะตอนนี้ทุกอย่างนะทวิตอะเป็นรองซูปหมดนะกูบอกตรง
You're looking at Narrate to pick up that next layer of slack here. Narrate gonna fall back towards base.
อ้าวยิงเหม็นขี้แล้วจอน
Instantly without a trade. Crash is taken away. Narrate!
Oh.
And Sauce is brought to the knees. Crashies doing so well there. And Fnatic pulling off the retake. They want the crowd up on their feet too. Those to put it on
ว่า
a
ไอ้
show
เหี้ยนี่ยิ่งไหว
as
ซุ
of
ย
Fnatic
แม่ง
now.
ทั้งยืนทั้งเต้น
He's bang
มึงเอา
falling as well.
เดี๋ยวมึงเหนื่อยก่อน
Removes the pit from the table. As
อ๋อ
Ruff as
มัน
well,
มาจาก
Zekken, I
เบ
think
ล
this
เหรอ
snake bite lands, he just has to eat
หรือ
it.
มาจากไหนนะ
Down so low because that
เหี้ยแม่ง
operator
กูมา
tag
ไกลจัด
crashes. Beautiful cleanup from him. All tied up now, 4 apiece.
That feels good after a timeout too. That was meant to be tailor-made, right? That was the best plan coming in. Maybe called by Kaplan, maybe more of a conversation from John QT, but it was that conversation. And here's a switch up.
As soon as Sentinels show presence on mid now, Fnatic actively looking to counterbalance that.
Here.
Show their
โอ้แม่งได้
faces,
กลับแม่งได้กลับแม่งซวย
plant their flag, and actually post back on a very deep angle
แม่งได้กลับ
behind this
ฝั่ง
A
นู้นกลับไม่
site.
ได้แล้วครับการันตี
Set
A
up here from Sentinels.
A3
Sen still have, okay, they still got the Viper's pit on Bang, they still got Zekken as well. onto that TP,
Wait,
but
let me
Crashy,
go on
big
the
info here. And at the same time, Alpha strikes, brilliant combination, but an answer back. There it is. John QT starting to fire up too. Frontline hero, John QT. The kayak.
โดนเลยไปยืนข้างบนครับ
1v3, a 1v3 kayak, really?
เฮ้ยขจัก
You can't
เฮ้ย
say
ข
he
จัก
didn't
เบาลง
try,
นิด
but
นึง
Celsius calm
เดือด
under
ไป
pressure,
จาก
and
เอ้ย
taking a step back in this now.
ไอ้เหี้ยมึงงัดเขาเลยเหรอ
Dismantling this A site hold. And Crashy's caught completely off guard by John QT scaling up so quickly underneath him. That's yeah,
อ๋อ
Alpha
เขา
unable
รู้แล้ว
to
ด้วยโอ้โห
tuck his tail
ฝืน
and
เกิน
dip
เพื่อน
out
คา
sight.
ชิ
A beautiful shot follow up actually. John QT to find his third. Sen find a response here after 3 unanswered rounds.
ฝืนไปครับขจักอ่ะ
You still have the pit. So we've got a TP from Zekken as well. Now back on the res for Chronicle, so not many ultimates in play.
John's just
ไม่
got
คอน
it
โทรล
down.
ตรงนี้
Yeah,
ดี
make
ว่ะ
that an extra one.
แม่งคิดมาแล้วอ่ะเห็นป่ะที่มันปล่อยน้องไปอ่ะมันจอดตรงที่มันสามารถเก็บโดยที่ไม่ต้องเปิดตัว
Kayak in the same
แม่
position,
ง
but
คิด
this
มาแล้ว
time
อ่ะไอ้เหี้ย
able to play in the cut effectively.
อ้าวชิบหาย
Again,
ละ
he was on that flank
ได้กลับไหม
before. He was quick to it too, so this feels like it's likely, even though maybe Alpha trying to break the turret gives them sense.
โอ้
There's nothing calm
เฮ้ย
about
จัก
that. That was
เฮ้ย
quick as hell. Kayak takes away
เฮ้ย
the
จั
hero
ก
of the previous. John QT down. That's also the ult remove. That's a big piece of the puzzle. They could play on site if they want to. It looks like they fancy a bit of that. Alpha's still there. Up towards Rafters. Not this time. Bang! Fast himself. Now trying to scale up cleanly. Alpha can deny the plant. And now problems for Sen. Gotta put bodies behind this here.
Now actually, Fnatic can try and reinforce the hold here.
Hello?
Alpha under a ton of pressure.
โอ้
but
ไม่มี
it's
ใครมอง
cleared.
เอ้า
They just said
เอ้า
paranoia didn't clear it. That's not good enough. But still, a 2v2. Spike in hand, and TP is out of there.
มีอันติ
Second
ปะ
wants
โอ้แคชจี้ไม่
safety.
มีอันติ
Secure plant is what he'll get.
Spike
Big
planted.
gap though between him and his teammate. Zelsis now picking up the pace a little bit. Crashies and Boaster paranoid of a lurk. Sentinels able to regroup here.
Crashies has
Mini
key
con เพื่อน
utility.
เฮ้ยอะไรไม่เอา
In here.
ลีคอนอะไรตรงนั้น
Still paranoid about maybe closer players.
เออ
Zekken waiting, swings it, spotted, TP's out, gets away, Boaster trying to creep forward, couldn't snap in time, and now down to Crashies in a 1v2, it's looking like Sen, a back in charge!
จบอย่างนี้จบ
Totally in sync there.
แม่งลีคอนตรงนั้นทำไมวะมึงกระโดดเช็คก็ได้แคชชี่มึงก็แง้มเอาก็ได้มึงตัดสินใจผิดแล้วเพื่อนข้างหน้ามึงจะไปเช็คยังไงล่ะค
Beautiful
รั
adjustment here
บ
from Kayak, but gets Alpha maybe one more from this position.
เพื่อนพลาด
Makes it
ใหญ่
a
แล้ว
little
เพื่
easier,
อ
but
นเพื่อนแค
It's
ส
Chronicle falling there, standing to face Zekken. That opens this up.
คือมันต้องเช็คข้างหน้าป่ะ
Sentinels follow
เพราะว่า
through 6
ข้างล่าง
on
ก็
the
แค่
board.
แง้มนิดเดียวเองแล้วข้างหน้าทำไงอ่ะโหมึงแค่ระวังมุมเช็คมุมนิดเดียวเองโอ้โหแม่ง
Fnatic.
เว้ยกูยังคิดได้เลยเฮีย
No command and a pick here
King up,
for
bit down,
Sentinels. It's only Boaster on guard here on B main.
They're trying to speed up, it looks like with Fnatic clearing out deeper towards A so they can free up the rotation.
แม่งมีอันติระยำแล้วไง
He is in a really
แม่ง
precarious
มาแล้วครับ
spot
รถ
like
ซิ่ง
So with the ultimate here
โอ้
from the
มัน
Raid to
มันเล่น
pave
คอน
the
โทรล
way.
นันติอ่ะดิอุ้ยจะ
Spam
ตาย
coming through from Boaster, but not
ไอ้นั่นจะตาย
finding
ไอ้บัง
anything. Actually, yeah, bang, sorry.
He took a lot of
That's
damage
10
from that.
HP.
And Alpha's still really close by here. Considers the swing and oh, it's huge. Denies the plant and gets a body dropped. Flank now on the way. Sen need to really secure this. Almost turtle up for a second. Pause. Trying to catch a player. Kayak careful.
เอาโดนล้อมไว้หมดแล้ว
Doesn't overdo this, but Sen now scrambling
โดนล้อมไว้หมดแล้วครับ
forward. Spike back in hand. A
โดนล้อมไว้หมดแล้ว
What is that? Quan and Boaster both in unison.
โดนล้อมไว้หมดแล้ว
Catching the push-up, punishing Sen,
ไอ้ย่ามัน
wanting that
เซน
safety.
ก็ไม่รู้จะทำไงวะพยายามจะดันครับ
Not a hope in
โดนล้อมไว้หมดแล้วครับ
Nearly getting back on level footing.
Last round before the switch.
Boaster happy to stand his ground here initially. Again, a ton of information actually.
ถือว่าสู้กันได้
There's
ดี
not
ฮะ
an early
คู่นี้
flood into B main. Again, the timing of some of these gunfights that Fnatic choose to take just catch Sentinels completely off guard. I mean, some of these kills coming through, a little PS, unfortunate for Sentinels, but so that chip damage.
อันนี้ของแบรนด์อะไรเนี่ย Mark and Spencer
Big ult still
ไม่
here
ชอบ
for Fnatic
ไม่
too.
ชอบไอ้นี่
Rez
ว่ะไม่ชอบ
online
พื้
for
นเลย
Con. Alpha's got his
Now
two
มันเป็นแบบ
crashes.
Fury.
That's
นัก
three
รบ
heavy
มากเกิน
hitters
ไป
on the
ว่ะ
other side. You have
พื้น
Bangs
นั้น
there. Didn't really get the
พื้น
chance in
นั้น
that last round to bring it in.
อะไรแบรน
After
ด์อะไร
being
วะ
taken so low.
ดีกว่า
Obviously, Narrate used his, as did John QT. So,
พื้นมันดูแบบ
scaling up as expected. This is
Classic.
something we're growing used to now from Sen. Oh, Boasted careful. Always caught that timing, but from afar, that is gorgeous from Crashies. Good connection, couldn't quite find another, but big info and big
มันแน่น
damage.
แล้วแต่รุ่นเนาะ
Two tags
Now,
here.
Luna.
Right
อยาก
down
ได้พื้นแบบนั้น
45, John QT down 70.
แต่ดูอ่ะไม่แหลม
And the stinger
ไอ้มาร์
now
คเนี่ย
implies
แต่ติดแค่พื้นแค่
he's
นี้
going to try and get up close and personal in his pit.
ดูจากรูปแล้วหัวไม่แหลม
Pause. It's a cut sound here from Sentinels, but Fnatic not moving. There's no threat elsewhere with
รองเท้า
Kayak
แบบนี้
posted
ใส่
up with
เก
the
งอะไรทุก
operator.
กางเกง เกงยีนสแลก
Nice deep
ได้หมด
line on the other side. He feels strong enough to sit for one.
ได้หมดเลย คือแม่งเป็นเกงนะ
Here's
รอง
that
เท้าแบบ
lockdown.
คลาสสิกอะ
Put them under a little bit more pressure to play out towards yellow. Get a bit closer here. Force their hand. And Boast are prepared for it. Zeki trying to make a bit of a play on the back, but no. Blood's going to come down nice from Narrate. Viper Spear laid in, but Alpha fast. He's closed the gap quick. Oh, what is that from Narrate? The hero set needed. John QT, just a shot in the back of Crashies. We noted how far away Kayak was. But
ว้าว
what is that?
น่า
What
น่า
in
น่า
God's
น่า
name
น่า
is that? But it
อย่า
may
บอก
be
ว่ามันชนะ
nothing. Kayak would
ไอ
have
สัตว์
to
มัน
be
รั่วเลย
a
นะ
hero.
โอ้
And it's not gonna happen today. Zelsis keeps Sen in the lead on this. Sen now on the defending side, of course, Fnatic having to pick it up on attack. Slow and rather methodical beginning. You have to get used to that tempo. We know that Fnatic play at their own pace. The knife gonna find nothing after John QT's early contact.
And certainly in terms of pacing as well, there's not going to be any surprises in how Fnatic approach this composition. But giving up A here, maybe toying with the idea of exploration towards mid, or some pressure coming through, but Boaster now.
โบสเก่าจังวะเพื่อน
This could be an issue.
ปล่อยรีเทค A ครับ
Good. I mean, happy to sit back and play towards a
ปล่อยรี
retake
เทค A
here.
ครับ
Deep investment of the wall, actually. Now Swarm's popped. We'll be able to get the plant here regardless.
Or 5v5
30 seconds
post-plant in
5v5
pistol.
post pile
Here we
โอ
go.
เค
Double stacked
โอ
up.
เค เฮ้ย
Sorry, triple
อึด
stacked
อัด
up.
ไป
It's like, can't get away from my man. How dare you? Need to find some security here, though. I do want to see them stabilize for this
Because
post.
Fat
there's
Ma.
no flank coming through either, so
Nope.
this is all in from Sen.
Christ, look at that paranoia. If they were a little bit closer, it could have been lethal. But Fnatic still hold the numbers, and the smoke is wondrous to work in. Narrate can't
ปืน
quite
ถนัดอั
find
ปเจอ
them.
ร์ว่ะ
Leaving just Zelsis outgunned here and outnumbered. Fnatic getting the first.
On the board here, and Boaster on his feet. Looking
อยาก
like
ได้
they
ที่
might
ถูก
tie
ใจอยู่
things up
กำลัง
here
เล็งอยู่นี่ 3,000 ก็คิดมาก
to
นะ
kick off the second half.
กลัวซื้อมาใส่ไม่ได้ใส่ไม่โดน
Well, that's going to be the approach, or just the pistol
จะเป็น
round
ครั้งแร
here.
กในการใส่คิวซีเลย
Sentinels. You can check that if you allow Fnatic to get this clean plant, reset back into deep post-plant positions. Really bang that can cut sightlines here with the wall. But plenty of tools for Fnatic to lean back on.
เฮ้ย
Just narrate play side once more.
แล้วปล่อยให้มันเก็บอย่างนั้นได้ไง
Actually,
วะ
yeah, maybe looking like a little bit of aggression towards B main, but utility down from Alpha, going to keep that in check.
Yeah, it certainly should do. He only has the ghost.
โอ้ย
And
Yeah,
actually,
no, no.
his util starts getting cleared, so he's feeling that there's someone nearby, but they're already
but
rotating. But by now,
no,
look how close Fnatic are. And there's big guns out on display. Kron's got one, Kayak's got one, and so does Crashies. So they're the three that can't really afford to fall. And it's simplistic an approach, Mike. They're not making too much of it. Alpha going to catch Zelsis trying to hit that rotate round on the flank. And we're into
ชิบ
3
หาย
players
ละ
remaining. For
หิว
Sen, this wasn't around
ไอ้
your
เหี้ย
expected.
นอนดึกหิว
Certainly not.
ด่วนเลยด่วนเลยมึงด่วนเลยสัตว์ฟนาติก
Smoke coming up and really huddled outside heaven. Don't expect them to be
ไม่
charging
ใช่
on, maybe
ละ
feeding into ultimates that make Fnatic's life even easier. Alpha's on the hunt though.
Hello. Oh,
The first and
how's he doing now?
เฮ้ยอย่าไปตาย
fallen now. Actually, Crash is following through
อย่า
here,
ไป
but
ตายแคท
Don't lose that
แค่
guy.
นั้นแหละ เออ ไอ้เหี้ยแม่งได้ยินกูนี่หว่า จะเอาไปแลกทำไม
Four survive and Alpha just bringing a ghost in here. Like I said, coming forward, finding a kill outside B main and then falling.
Yeah, taking the box.
Extra kill. Decent progress made.
We're all even, Michael. 7-7.
Big
So when it
buy
gets-
round here.
Yeah, and I want to talk about
You
pressure
are.
between these two because
Joke
normally it is a
along,
bigger
but you
conversation,
avoid that,
right?
avoid
And yes, it is still a chat, maybe with
Feel it,
Kayak
joke along,
in
but
that sort of list, maybe at best. But these are experienced legacy teams, right? I know from the original iterations, it is only both
อุ้ย
still
แล้วปืนใหญ่
standing.
จัดโบ
But
นัส
these are
ลาว
the big
ปืน
boys,
ใหญ่
right? You're talking
จัด
about these two teams.
ได้ลุ้นเลย
None of
วิน
them
ดับเบิล
are
เลย
slouchy by
ไม่ใช่โบนัส
any
นะ
means. They should be able to keep their heads
ปืนเบ้งเลยฮะ
calm, keep themselves cool under this pressure.
4 กระบอก
Still tied all even. It is game on between both of them.
I don't think knife catching on anything here. Zekken posted up, clean on the
โอ้
first.
ยเซคเคน
Very
Dip away, but
แม่งเอาตัวซิ่งไปอีก
45 HP does have the regen.
เย้แม่งเอาตัวซิ่งไป
So we'll have to continue plow on as four. Zekken setting up for the paranoia. Yes, slow work once more from Fnatic.
They've been testing Sentinels' patience the entire game, it feels like. Zelsis
Oh.
rewarded as well. Locked in
เหี้ยมุม
towards
วันเว
punishing
ว่ะ
middle. Yeah, Alpha slipped ahead, but
ไอ้
there's
เหี้ยมุม
still
โคตรเฟี้ยวอ่ะ
utility here. Yeah, maybe if they got Zelsis down, it'd be a different scenario. It's not the case. So what's the game plan? So scattered throughout this, Mike.
Is Alpha rewarded here? He's actually not dealt with the turret. He's waiting for maybe somebody to show.
โอ้แม่งระวังตัวไอ้เหี้
Now
ย
have a chance over the top of Boiler potentially. Yeah, Boaster can lurk ahead here with the poison orb.
I
They
mean,
can
they
almost
timed
pinch
it.
onto B. But Zekken still
30
finding
seconds
ไอ้
success.
เหี้ยเซคเคน
You
แม่ง
thought you
เอาหม
had
ด
a
เล
better
ย
shot at it, but it is still Zekken stood there.
โอ้โห
Everyone
ไม่ได้
else
ลุ้น
from
เลย
Sen
โบ
went
นัส
over
ลาว
towards
เหี้ย
Zen
อะไร
too
เนี่ย
much.
ปืน
Fnatic not
ดี
getting
ซะเปล่าไอ้สัต
any
ว์
fair fights, it feels like, for them. They have to dig so deep for these players. Smart work.
ผม
For nice. But again,
10 seconds.
try and get any further would be surprising. Yeah, caught up in his own utility, really making a mess of that. But a Kron 1v4, perhaps not
Oh,
to be.
indeed.
Nice spacing from
Oh,
Sen,
well, that
and the
loud.
awareness here, Mike. I mean, it's not flashy Valorant at this point,
no.
but Sen know exactly how Fnatic are trying to play this.
Sure, certainly just trying to force the hand of Sentinels, force them into being decisive themselves, but Sentinels not biting on the bait.
Spike planted.
This mid piece really rough. I mean, if you don't find an engagement,
Let's go.
the other
Let's
side
go,
of it,
boys. Come on.
it's
Let's
tough to
go,
then
let's
just
go.
charge towards B because Zekken has so much space. There's nothing to kind of pick up the slack towards B main. Operator in the hands of Alpha, yeah.
Placing swamp grenade.
I mean, we saw what he did on Chamber.
Yeah, yeah.
But we know that Boaster can op, obviously Kayak can op. Alpha, let's see if he's got it on the Killjoy here. Again, Rez is there for Kron.
สไน
Up towards 410 though.
เอาอีกแล้วเล่นอะไร
Willing to
แปลกๆ
hold
แล้วส
belt.
ไนคิวจอย
The rest of the map, they're getting curious. Down B long, wanting info. Zels is still patrolling towards mid, but they're close on this A site now.
Kayak relaying information there with the sound cue, but probably unaware of Bang's position here. Actually, they'll jump over the top there, surely spotted by Narrate. They do drift away. Yeah, very sweaty Valor in here.
Oh yeah.
Just waiting for a peek to punish, but able to actually push deep enough to get a wall up.
Any swing? No, couldn't get a swing off that. I thought maybe with the Dizzy going up, they could have maybe caught someone, but
หวังได้ไหมเนี่ย
still held towards backside. The plants can come down, but they're so close here. Bang, considering the punish. The Kayak got his buddies back.
เฮ้ย
That's a fumble though.
ไอ้บอส
Luckily,
มึงง่วงใช่ไหม
pressure coming through there because Kayak ain't that vulnerable.
Ooh, this is getting really tense, Mike. You can see it, you can feel it. Drifting closer, Paranoia goes in, but an early swing from Bang goes down. Effective trading for Fnatic.
สวย
Trying to take back on the site. Sen can't stick the landing.
สวยโบสโอ้ยโบส
John
โอ้
QT
โห
forced to
โบส
back
พีกอะไรวะน่ะ
away.
เอาแบบเมื่อกี้
Fnatic
เอาแบบเมื่อกี้อีก
playing a game of this.
เอาแบบเมื่อกี้
Scaling up well together, trading in well if they felt that presence. But this style, Fnatic happy to play with.
Bear in mind, Sentinel said they were expecting this, right? This
Yes.
is how they knew Fnatic were going to approach today. Fnatic seeming to find some success with
ทำไม
it
นักแข่ง
in
เขา
the
ไม่
second
ยิง
half.
พร้อมผืนป้อมปืนแล้วค่อยหนี
So tense in some of these situations because
ทำไมนักแข่ง
you
ไม่
see
ยิงป้อม
Sentinel's
ปืนแล้วค่อยหนี
almost just
ใช่ไหมตรงกลางใช่ไหม
apprehensive of when to pull the
มันเป็น
trigger
คำตอบที่
on some of this utility.
มันอาจจะเป็นแผนของเขาทิ้งตัวโฮไว้ฟังเสียงอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับ
Maybe some early round aggression to
มันจะ
remove
ฟัง
some of
เสี
that
ยง
comfort with so many bodies standing.
ไม่รู้อ่ะมันเป็นแผนอะ
That's it.
แล้วดูมันยืนดิ
He's
เนี่ย
evolved.
แม่งยืนนักเลงด้วย
But it's probably the reason for this timeout. Again,
Ah,
this,
absolutely is, yeah.
this tempo and pace.
ไม่
like,
สามารถ
I mean,
อ่าน
if
อ
you
อก
look
ได้
at
เลย
regionally,
แต่มันอยู่
like
ในแผน
Americans,
แน่
there
น
are
อน
teams that play to this sort. I don't
ใน
want to
การ
say
ที่
to
เรา
this
ไม่ยิง
extent,
ป้อม
but they do play
เรา
a
ก็
more
จะยืนอยู่ตรง
methodical,
นั้นได้
slower
ฟรี
game style. But they can then scale up. They do play like a bit of a more variety to it. You look at G2, who are kind of the, you know,
ฝั่ง
very
นั้นก็จะโรเทตแบบ
I
ปล่อย
guess
เสียง
meticulous in approach, a little bit more patient.
Mang
And
na.
obviously Sen are well aware of how to play against it, but here against Fnatic, they're taking it to kind of
Titam
extremes,
level,
right?
ไม่รู้
Very
Oh, they really
slow,
are.
very steady.
This is way slower than actually traditionally we see Fnatic play even.
Yeah.
So you can see they're really dialing into that approach.
I mean, how many 5v5 post plants have we had at this point, right? No, it's every step is very hard fought for, very cautious. I mean, Alpha was up on towards pipes with that operating deep before even contact happened. That was, you know, it took so long to get there. So Sentinels maybe needed to check in, get their heads straight on here. As it has been 3 rounds to Fnatic's name against only the 1 response from Sen so far.
It's just not there for Sentinels either. It's going to be Narrate bringing the Sheriff to the party here.
สูสีจัดเลยว่ะแปลกๆไอ้เหี้ยของจริงว่ะ
It's only really second Bang sitting with anything notable in the bank behind this. Triple of the orb though. Getting the rate just one away. So maybe a little bit of aggression, as I said, but
โอ้โห
Alpha will find second. Strips
โอ้
Kayak double
เฮ้ย
step.
Oh, it's clean. Stop
เรียก
it.
ชั่นทำมึงเท่าไหร่เนี่ย
After you try and get aggressive
เฮ้ยไอ้
against
ตัว
this
นี้แม่ง
sort
ข
of
องจริง
pacing.
ว่ะ
Kayak now caught though, denied by the Dizzy. Narrate trying to pop out the chest a bit, try and control that space. He's done very well.
And this is the sort of round that Fnatic
Ui,
almost
dik,
baiting
meng.
Sentinels into playing.
That's the dream. Oh my god, Alpha.
กูเด็กแม่งถึง
Back to
จั
the
ด
step.
อ่ะ
He was like, maybe I can help out Narrate. Maybe
จัก
not.
เหรอ
And Alpha combat operating up
OP
the
บุก
line.
นี่ไงโชว์ใหญ่
Narrate
เลย
tries to take a second
wait.
target inside Kayak. Looks
มัน
a
ออน
little
ไฟมา
easy.
จากไอ้นี่ไง
Swinging though.
แอสเซนชุบเดชุบ
One
เด
hasn't come through just
Chụp đi.
yet.
Mấy
Kron
chụp
does
bỏ.
have the res, so look
Mấy
to
chụp.
maybe get Kayak
Bên
back
này
on his
à?
feet.
ไม่ชุบเปลือง
Not necessarily needed here, as we can see on the minimap. Celsius and Narrate
โอ้โห
probably
แต่ยอมคัด
considering
จั
the
กว่ะ
save already. A 2v4. Certainly not
ถ้ายังมู
comfortable.
ยังอยู่ศัตรูก็ไม่ระแวงตรง
Feel
นั้น
like a
ไม่ปล่อย
roll of
เสียง
the
ไม่ได้
dice.
อินโฟใช่
Try and get this
ถ้า
started.
ในแบบเมื่อกี้อะนะแต่ก็ไม่รู้
It has to be
แม่งมีอะไร
mentality
มาก
reset as
นอก
well
เหนือ
for
จาก
Sen.
มันอีกเปล่าที่เราไม่ได้ยิน
Because Fnatic
แบบ
look
เฮ้ย
locked
เดี๋ยวค่อย
into
ยิง
this.
ตอนนี้
And
นะ
they
อะไร
just
เงี้ยอาจ
tested
จะ
out what
โฮ
it looks like if
ไม่
we
ได้
go
เกี่ยว
a
กับ
bit
เสียงเลย
aggressive.
อาจจะรอ
Yeah, like I said, this is the sort of round
Ôi,
that
nè, giờ
Fnatic
cô biết tham
almost
tông nghĩ lắm, mừng khỏi
begging
dinh cái này kìa.
Sentinels.
Come on, come on.
Dạ.
Yeah, have a look.
Dangling a carrot
Hey, you wanna
almost.
take some map control? You wanna get an early
Stop
take?
us
โอ้โห
from
ขอดู
seeing
คัดจักหน่อย
outside
ขอดู
the
คัดจัก
site.
หน่อย
Please, I dare you. And well, they tried. And you saw how well that went. So Sentinels need other options. They need to go deep into the playbook, get a good grip on what's going on here. But it's hard. It gets riskier and riskier as the game goes on. Fnatic now up on
เก่ง
9.
เฮี้ยคัดจัก
As the slow and steady march back into this series carries on here. And look at it again. So aware, so ready, and so quick though from Kayak.
My ultimate is
เอ้ย
ready.
มันทำได้ขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอวะ
It's frustrating as
Hier
well
men
because
door
these
ขึ้นไป
sorts
งั
of
ด
rounds it
หัว
becomes
เม็ดแรก
harder
เล
and
ยอะ
harder to justify
เฮี้ยคัดจักซินโดรมแน่งานเนี้ยกูบอก
the
ให้
finances,
เซิ
the
ร์ฟเซิร์ฟมึงเตรียมตัวเลย
the inventory, and really the bigger picture
ขา
cost
จัก
of
ขา
that.
นู่นขา
Now with
นี่
Fnatic
แต่
knocking
เดิน
on
ก็
the
แบบนี้
door
เลย
of double digits here. Need I remind you the decider and the
เดินก็
elimination
แบบ
on
นี้
the
เลย
line.
ตอนที่มันหิวแชมป์อะตอนที่มันต้องทำ
Two
สักอย่าง
big
เพื่อแชมป์
names
อะ
here in Toronto.
ด่านนี้แหละ
Get a bit up in their
อี
face
สานเดิร์ก
again.
อะ
And if I don't say it feels obvious, but it feels like they're trying to then say, okay, Fnatic, okay, come on, re-clear, do the same sort of thing. We're ready this time. They've got 3 players here now, actively looking, playing on 410. Sorry, excuse me, just below, down by Maze here, John QT on that corner, narrate.
On the filthiest angle in the map. Looking up towards
อย่า
Bell.
พอเจอแม่งออฟบุกแล้วแม่งแบบอิมแพคจัดเลยว่ะแม่งอินแชมเบอร์มาดิแชมเบอร์มันทำได้
The
แม่งก็เลยเอา
silence
อีก
feels so oppressive, doesn't it? Because you've still got Alpha's ult here. If they want to invest it, they can. They can leave this late and
ปี
punish
ศาจ
this
เทียร์
push
2ไหนไอ้โกฟเนี่ยนะปีศาจเทียร์2
They don't like what they're feeling here. Something feels off.
โอ้ไอ้เหี้ย
Leave Alpha.
มันอมทุกข์เกินในโกฟอ่ะมันเลยเล่นไม่ออกเว้ย
Or even just find
คือส
contact
ภาพจิต
elsewhere
ใจ
on
มัน
the
ห
map.
นักเฮ้ย
But
เวลา
it's
เฮ้ย
hard
เว
to
ลา
have
เวลา
confidence even in the lack of contact because of how they're playing this.
Got to do something quick though. Down to 30 seconds and
30 seconds left.
ชิบหายแล้ว
formation of 2 members of Fnatic still.
20 seconds.
Yeah,
Mấy
this
thằng nữa nè.
is looking a
don't do
little
this.
weird now. They've got to just run onto B site and plant.
Celsius, get ready! 10 seconds! And the spike is still down towards B long and
Oi!
Fnatic,
Thằng
that is outrageous! You're getting away with this.
เยันเท่
Second,
ทั
John
น
QT and
ผู้
Narrate
อัฟ
nearly
เจอร์
falling
เอาเยอะ
asleep
จัด
during this
ตอน
round.
นี้
Surely, good lord, how they
Avatar
managed to
เอา
be
เรื่อยๆเลยครับ
disrupted for so long. Zekken, still trying to find a player here. But you've still got Alpha's ult if
เฮ้ย
needed.
อัฟเจอร์
Yeah, they clear close, but that deeper line, that operator still in play. Paranoia is there, Flash still there, but they got to get going. Hell, they had to have cleared yellow by now. It feels, look at Boast's position, almost offsetting Zekken's. And yeah, it absolutely has, because John QT felt safe and secure, but Zekken now outnumbered. And again, Fnatic
เชี่ยโบ
controlling the
เตอร์
tempo,
เย็ด
controlling
เท่
the time. And
โบ
Sentinels
เตอร์ไปงัด
can't
ตั
be
ว
everywhere
ไอ้
at
ตัวไอ้
once.
นี่ปะสโนว์แมนปะวะ
That just looks
ถ้าไม่ได้ตัว
so-
สโนว์แมนลำบากนะ
so
น่ะ
uncomfortable.
ผมไม่ใช่อะแคช
You
ชี่
come back
Seconds
just
left.
as Chronicles
เรียก
making
แคช
this
ชี่เดินไป
cross
แบบ
in
นัก
mid.
เลงเลย
It certainly doesn't feel
One enemy.
like Fnatic are teed up to convert.
Last one down.
But then 2 kills found. And things crumble for
โบ
Sentinels.
เตอร์ว่ะ
I'm getting a bit nervous now.
I'm
Look
very
at this
nervous,
half.
yeah,
Look
but
at this half. Look at the timeline.
I mean, look at the purchases as well now, forcing back in on this. Nothing left in the bank.
โอ้แม่ง
This is going to
แม่ง
test
บีบฝั่งนู้น
Sentinels,
เว้ย
their mental
แม่ง
over
ไม
and
เกม
over.
Like you said, it's
ไม่ใคร
almost
จับ
like
เมาลั่น
they're playing to force Sentinels to make these desperate decisions late round. Because they're just left guessing.
And Fnatic will be reveling in this,
เอา
won't
โอ้ย
they?
ไอ้เหี้ยนี่
Loving
ไอ้เหี้ย
it.
นี่พลิกใส่หมดเลย
Knowing
ไม่
they've
กลัวใคร
got
เลยครับ
that time
อัฟ
always
เจอ
on
ร์
their side.
ใคร
Even
สะ
though
กิ
it
ดกู
felt
เอา
so
ใคร
late.
สะกิดกูหา
Now we look at what Sentinels can do to try and hold this
แม่ง
back.
รีพีค
Double
ใส่หมด
top towards that kind of
ล่วง
top and lower side. Nice from Narrate.
ชุบ
Takes
ก่อน
away
ชุบก่อนขอ
Claire.
อนุญาต
Here
ชุ
we
บก่อน
go.
Will not kill my
Again, that res has been in the back pocket for some time. Zek goes back
That's
in,
all right.
brings it back to the grave, and you're right. Where was the support in this?
ชุบตุ๊ก
It's
ตาครับ
almost linking into the game plan here, this comp. You can allow somebody to take a hyper-aggressive peak, but that res has to be safe.
He's stalling out. That
เฮ้ย
you madman out!
อะไรอ่ะ
You should never be able to get away with it, and he does. Locked down now on top, 35 seconds, but we've seen how late they run this.
เฮ้ย
They could go and B for all we know.
อัฟเจอร์เอาแชมเบอร์ไปเหอะอย่างเงี้ยเชื่อกู
And Alpha is
แชมเบอร์ไปเลย
absolutely out of his mind in this round. Still dug in deep here. Kron watching that top side, forced away.
อุ๊ยเห็น
Angle
จุก
better
เห็น
for
จุก
Sen.
ไอ้เหี้ยแม่งเห็น
Hard
ชดา
fought steps here though, and Alpha getting left more and more on an island. He can't escape. Bang removes. A heartbeat found in the Sentinel side. But Crashies and Kron still standing. Smoke on the spike should draw the attention. They're playing it calm. Now the second attempt at the defuse. Composure from Kron. Oh, it's stunning. The
โอ้
reveal is
เรียบร้อย
perfect.
เลย
This is outstanding from Fnatic.
เหี้ยแคชชี่เอา
Zekken
ให้
has to try master
โอ้
and he
แคชชี่ไอ้
can't.
เหี้ย
Another strike from
โอ้
Fnatic.
โหโว้โว้โว้โว้โว้โว้โบดโบด
And now the mental of Sentinels has to be broken in tatters from how these
ไอ้เหี้ย
rounds play out.
Look
อยากให้มันเจอไอ้ซุยแฟตว่ะไอ้เหี้ยอยากให้มันเจอซุยแฟตว่ะ
God, they played this so well. Good God.
Alpha up at 21 and 12.
อยากให้มันเจอ
Having
ซี
a
แฟตไปเฮีย
standout performance here. Bladestorm here, Pit here, Hunter's Fury.
โบสเอ้ย
Another side for
โอ้
Team.
โหอัลฟาเจอร์เฮ้ย
Watching him is
เอา
like
อะไรมาหยุดมัน
poetry
ดิ
in motion today.
เอา
Lethal
แชมเบอร์ให้มันเลย
though. Feels like he can't miss, and
โอ้โห
Sentinels
ไอ้เหี้ยมันโหด
silence
จัง
in
วะ
this matter. They've got to dig deep here. They're going to need someone to ignite a spark.
แชมเบอร์เหมาะมันที่สุดแล้ว
Agility littered ahead of Alpha
ถ้า
there.
กูยังแข่งอยู่คงเป็นแบบโอ้
Most of
ไม่
them coming
ได้
through.
ว่ะ
Probably
ไอ้เหี้ยบ
plant the
นมัน
seed of
เอ็กโทรเวิร์ดเกิน
A B site
Manda.
here. It's Fnatic now heading that direction. Alpha finds another. John QT
มันไม่ได้
will
อะ
fall.
ยาก
Just
อะ
three
ที่
left
จะหาแบบ
standing
มัน
out
อี
for
กอะ
Sentinels.
I mean, Alpha feels like he can do no wrong,
Man,
right?
he's
The
saying
game
that,
feels perfect to him. In his mind, it's playing out as he dreamed. Zelsis desperate to find impact, but the wall's already there. So the plant's going to come down, and
เฮ้ย
Alpha
เฮ้ยดูดิ
goes
ดูนี่เดิน
hunting.
งัดดิ ดู
They've
นี่
been
เดินงัดดิ
conditioned
กลัวที่ไหน
over
อะ
the Sentinels.
คิวจอย
Mental must be on the ropes at this point.
Placing swarm grenade.
How do they fight back in to try and deny 12? I don't know if you can.
No, I mean it looks like it's
โอ้ยจ่ายทำไมมันไปแล้ว
Sentinels into a
โอ้
position
เขา
where
ไม่
they
เล่น
have
กับ
to
มึง
hold
หรอก
on
มึงอยู่ห้า
These
โอ้ย
weapons
นั่น
they
จ่าย
push
เอา
up
โบสนี่
They're on the
Second,
ropes.
nothing
Look,
in
look,
the bank.
look.
John QT, 100 credits. Ultimates to play with, but Alpha's on the hunt.
He's having a worldy game as Alpha.
โอ้
God! No one
Muddy.
can stop him right
มาดิ
now.
มาดิ
Look at that smile. Look at this man. He's still going.
ดูโบสดิดูโบสดิ
Even Jake's up.
ไอ้โบ๊ทมาดูเลยไอ้โบ๊ทลุกมาดูเลย
Just watching this happen. Gets caught in the end, but that is just madness we are seeing here. Kron found narrate 2 at the very end,
มาเจ
Mike.
อเฮ้ย
This might be a death
Oh.
rattle from Sentinels of a second half.
โอ้มาเจ
Fnatic
อ
on the verge of sending them
โอ้
home. And a monstrous performance from Alpha.
But 24 and 13.
ไม่กูรู้แล้ว มันเหนื่อยมันร้อนเพราะอะไรที่ต้องมีพัดลมอ่ะ
Greatest moments.
มึงดูทรงมันดิ
Look at that
เดี๋ยวลุก
timeline.
เดี๋ยวเต้นเดี๋ยวนู่นเดี๋ยวนี่
Just one
ว่าแล้วทำไมต้องมีพัดลม
He's still on the outlaw.
Who knows as well because
มันมีพัดลมส่วนตัวของมันน่ะ
uncomfortable for Sentinels.
And
Oi, 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 oi,
might be
Jack, Bao, Jack.
the way that they tried to
Keep
play
high,
out
now,
is
Nalit.
fantastic. Dark gonna come in. This kayak ready though. Players nearby. They swing. Sentinels digging deep here. Desperate to hold on the spray. Not gonna do enough. They get to live. First time they've drawn first blood without a quick trade.
Chronicle no res here either. So can't get Kayak back on his feet. Alpha still on the hunt. Scope in hand.
อัลฟาแชมเบอร์ออเยแชมเบอร์บอดี้โกลเด้นโห
Terrifying.
ร่างทอง
Of him. Social
Yeah.
Sen. For now he carries on. The disrespect. No fear shown from Alpha this game. He's drawn 3 players just to deal
Yeah, I
with
mean,
him.
look at the respect he's commanding. In terms of Yusil, in
Jesus,
terms of
how's-
pressure. Try and shut him
กูไม่
down.
ไปเอาฮิว
Gets a heal as well.
มาเล่น
so
ใหม่ โอ้โห
into a
จาก
much
หนึ่ง
healthier position now.
จากหนึ่ง
35 seconds though. And Sen have the
They do
man
men-
advantage. It
men-
feels
men-
like we've been
men-
saying this for
men-
the first time in a
men-
while.
30 seconds
You can see
left.
the Crash is trying to draw them away from this A side.
Sentinels know now
They're-
not to bite.
Yeah, they're learning their lessons here. They've had to learn it the hard way, but 20 seconds, it can still go any
ปก
which
ติ
way.
ไม่รอดแล้วเรา
Placing
เนี่ย
swarm grenade.
Alpha, the one to be stepping in here. Paranoia perfect. Fantastic work
Yeah, man.
from Sentinels. Second and bang when they need them
10
most,
seconds
doing
left.
enough here. I don't think Kron and Crashies can do much now. A lifeline given. Second gets away as the clock ticks. Sentinels stay alive.
Trying to just prevent potentially the upgrades here, but
Nice.
Zelsis will come through.
Big
2 with the
work.
stinger. Up to 9 now. 3 left to find and walking the tightrope. In terms of the economy, here Kayak removed early on from this proactivity. Sentinels just showing grit and resilience here.
And bravery, Mike, to go for that play.
Nice kills, boys. That's fine, that's fine. Nice kills, boys. Let's go.
To be able to kind of keep themselves feeling in this after what's been a very hard half. You can see the scoreline yourselves. We go back through a 12 to 9. Sen. It always feels like there's something
ปิด
with
มันเลย
this team.
Fnatic
They
เพื่อน
can pull it back from the
อย่าให้
brink,
บูม
but
ต้องดึก
Fnatic
กว่านี้
right now are deadly.
ถือว่าขอ
Alpha at a new high almost. And the weight of the world here, if it does go towards B, is on Zalsis' shoulders. The one man on this site. Yes, John QT could catch a cross, but this is a lot.
ไปซื้อรองเท้าดีกว่าพวกนี้เฮ้ยไอ้เหี้ยไอ้ตื่น
The finest.
เอ้าแล้วมันมองไม่เห็น
When he slipped through.
Oh my god.
Turret dealt with, but it's actually Boaster underneath Tube.
นี่
So
แม่งไงข้างล่าง
a
มา
little
ยิง
bit of
เพื่อเฟก
misdirection here. Celsius.
แม่งไงข้างล่างมายิงเพื่อเฟกเรียบร้อยเลย แม่งไงข้างล่างมายิงเพื่อเฟกครับ
They've
โอ้
got the
จี
keys to
จี
the
ว่ะ
castle
อย่างเงี้ย
now. They've got the full sight. They don't even know the level of success
GG
they
ว่ะทุก
just
คน
found. This could be heartbreak for Sentinels, but they're going to give it
โอ้
everything
อัฟฟาเจอ
they
ร์เอาอีกครับ
have. With the final
อัฟฟา
boss
เจอร์
of Alpha,
ล่าง
they
ปี
just
ศาจ
got bang.
โอ้หมดโอ้ขาจักอัฟฟาเจอร์ขาจักอัฟฟาเจอร์แม่งเด้งซ้ายเด้งขวาเด้งซ้ายเด้งขวาเมาหมัดหมดแล้วครับโอ้เจอต่อหลอนเจ้าโหยจักรอดไม่รอดโอ้เจอต่อเลยละกันโอเคแม่งจักเปล่าจักเจออ่ะ
And conquered.
โอ้ยเนี่ยไอ้จักไก่เจอ
To 9.
โอ้ไอ้จักไอ้เจอไอ้เหี้ย
Icebox once more, Lauren.
เฮ้ย
Their
แม่งเดอะเบสว่ะตอนเนี้ยจักเจออ่ะ
delivered here in Toronto.
โดยเฉพาะเจอนะ
Eliminated. You've got to feel good about that if you're a Fnatic fan. Dicey along the way, but
บิ๊กชีต
a beautiful approach here on map 3 just to really.
เอ้ยทำไมเนี่ยอันเนี้ยกูเพิ่งเห็นทีมแรกเนี่ยที่เดินมาจับมือกันเนี่ย ทำไมทีมอื่นไม่กูไม่เห็นเลยวะหรือว่ากูไม่เห็นเองวะแต่คู่เจนจีไม่เห็นดีเลยนะ
Sentinels were on their attacking side, but it just wasn't enough. And it will be where the road stops for Sentinels today, as you said, revenge for champs.
ปกติไม่มีงงเหมือนกันจริงๆมันควรมีนะเว้ยมันเป็นการแบบให้เกียรติคู่ต่อสู้อะแต่คู่อื่นไม่มีใช่ไหม ไม่ได้คิดเองนะ แม่งเอาเซนติเนลเก็บใส่ถุงไงเฮียโอ้ยโหไอ้เฮีย
I was going to say again, Alpha
โอ้ย
just absolutely phenomenal here on Icebox. 27.
ก่อนจากกันนะครับก็ใครที่ชอบคลิปนะฝากกดไลค์นะครับกด Subscribe นะครับผมก็จะได้เป็นกำลังใจในการทำคลิปต่อๆไปนะครับขอบคุณมากครับ